the lack of proven depth in their starting rotation. But like if you told me, that over the next 3 weeks, Grayson Rodriguez has his star turn and he, comes onto the scene and becomes an absolute monster like they've been hoping, well, then that changes everything completely. Yep. So that's the X factor for them. But it's going to be a wild race, and if only we were right there in it with them, because this is the time of year that's the very most fun.
I know. Instead, it's the final week of the regular season for the Red Sox. Will Fleming, thanks for your time. You, Sean, and Joe on the call tonight. Looking forward to that, and we'll talk to you soon.
A few laughs, a few good times. We'll see what we can do to keep the people at home entertained. Thanks, Rich.
All right, thank you. You can watch the Red Sox pregame show on Twitch. To watch, go to twitch.tv/Boston WEEI. It's brought to you by Subaru of New England. With so much to love, you don't want to miss the Subaru of New England A Lot to Love event. For complete details and to find your authorized Subaru retailer, visit SubaruofNewEngland.com. We will hear from the manager, Alex Cora, coming up next on the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
I'm here to tell you about Pom Pom at Home, where comfort meets elegance. Pom Pom at Home is offering 20% off site-wide for a limited time. See why so many of the top designers use Pom Pom's luxury Easy Care bedding. They have created a timeless, beautiful coastal living look that incorporates subtle tones and natural fibers, offering a unique touch. Create your dream bed now. Get 20% off sheets, duvets, throws, and more right now at pompomathome.com. Easy to use, easy to love luxury bedding. Just enter code POMPOM at checkout.
When you need to know what's happening, it's time to get in the huddle.
The big question is Desmond Ridder. The problem that I think a lot of fans are having and looking at Desmond Ridder is they just haven't seen enough. They want to trust him. They want to believe. But I will tell you this, Jason, in the training camp sessions that I had a chance to go check out, the one thing that bothered me was his aggressiveness to throw the football when he needed to.
Listen and subscribe to In the Huddle, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Hello, I'm Greg Figueroa.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get a 10-pack of our best-selling sauces with free shipping at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
Now batting, the cleanup hitter and league leader in coming through in the drainage clutch. Drains by James.
Fans rely on Drains by James to expertly handle all drain and pipe projects, both residential and commercial. Whether you need drain cleaning, water jetting, camera inspection, or pipe lining repair, Drains by James is the big league choice. Visit drainsbyjames.com for the full service lineup. At Drains by James, they give a poop about your pipes.
Greetings, podcast listeners. This is world-renowned, self-proclaimed couples therapist, Dr. Sheila. And I'd like to invite all of you to experience my couples therapy podcast, Say More, with Dr. Sheila. And yes, for legal reasons, you do need to say the doctor in the form of a question. On the pod, I talk to couples who are having problems, and you get to listen. And how wonderful is that? To listen in on other people's problems and then feel better about your own. I ask my patients to come in, to open up, and to say more.
Paper Kite Podcast Say More with Dr. Sheila features guests such as Rachel Dratch, Kate Berlant, Paul Scheer, Alana Glazer, Maya Rudolph, Chris Parnell, Anna Gasteyer, and Amy Poehler as Dr. Sheila. Listen and follow to Say More with Dr. Sheila, an Odyssey podcast on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's getting a little darker earlier now. Fall is coming. Fall in New England is the best, but the yard work can be overwhelming. If it's challenging to get into the garden like you used to, or you struggle with the fall chores around the house, then you need QC Kinetics. When everyday movements are holding you back because of soreness in your knees, back, hips, or shoulders, it's time for QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments target the pain in your joints, and patients are raving about their results. Most importantly, improved quality of life. They use your body's own healing abilities with no drugs, no surgery, and there's no downtime. Get back in the garden and improve your activity with QC Kinetics. Schedule a free consultation with the medical professionals at QC Kinetics today. Don't let joint discomfort slow you down any longer. Call 617-644-PAIN. That's 617-644-PAIN. Or visit their website at qckinetics.com to schedule your free consultation now.
For over 80 years, JB Sash & Door has been New England's leading window and door dealer.
And for over 20 years, we've been proud to offer Marvin Windows and Doors.
Marvin provides the perfect solution for any budget or design.
And JB Sash offers design services, custom finishes, and millwork options for all Marvin products.
Don't settle for windows and doors from a lumberyard or big box store.
Our expertise makes us New England's leading Marvin dealer, and no one knows Marvin better than JB Sash.
Visit us at jbsash.com.
We are JB Sash & Door,
the home of the window boys.
Gresh and Fourier, weekdays 10 to 2.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Back here on the Mass Mutual Red Sox pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Red Sox and Rays. The first of a brief 2-game series at Fenway Park begins tonight. Before every game, we interview Red Sox manager Alex Cora. It's brought to you by your New England Ford dealers and their Discover Summer Sales event. With a large inventory in stock, now is the best time to trade in, trade up, and discover your best summer ever with Ford.
With the manager Alex Cora, 2 more at Fenway Park. Kind of hard to believe that the home schedule's coming to an end, and another weekend just impacted by more and more rain. What kind of a challenge has it been for you with all of these delays and postponements?
It's a challenge, but you just got to keep rolling, right? It's part of it. We cannot control that. We don't have a roof, so yeah. But you try to prepare as best as possible, kind of like, go through your repetitions, and, it's just part of it.
One of the fun things these last couple of weeks is your young players are starting to really impact things. Willier hits his first Fenway home run. It seems like every day he does something to really impress. What are you seeing from him?
Just a good player that controls the strike zone, and that's something we've been talking as a group. We haven't done that this last month. You can see it with man in scoring position. Too many swings and misses, too many chases, and he's the total opposite, right? He's been able to swing at the right ones and do damage with it. So excited about him. Finish strong, and then he's going to play in Venezuela, and then get ready for spring training.
Saw our first few flashes at this level of the defense that has been advertised for Rafaela in center field. Those balls just gliding into gaps. How high do you think his defensive ceiling can be?
I think he's going to be great. He's going to impact this game like the best of the best. He still has ways to go. This is not the final product. There's a few things that we have recognized that over the course of the off season, and obviously with his progression to become a full big leaguer, that he has to do. But you can see it. The ball he dove yesterday, not too many guys get to it. And that's something that I know he was disappointed that he catch it, but the fact that he was close to it, it tells you the story, and we're excited about it. The offensive part of it, we have to, keep, working with him, controlling the strikes, and when we do that, he's going to have a big impact at the big league level.
You guys are in the process of having all kinds of what you're calling exit meetings. End of the year, you talk about what went right, maybe some things to work on in the offseason. How long do those usually last, and how detailed are they?
They're very detail-oriented. It's about what happened this season and what we want them to do in the off-season. So some of them are very short, some of them are very long. It depends who you are, especially with the young kids. Kind of like, gather information about what they did in the minor leagues and where they're at right now and what they have to do to be full-time big leaguers. So it's a good conversation, something that we do regardless if you finish last or you win the World Series. This is something that happens in every organization, and right now we're in the middle of it.
Anu made a couple great plays at second base the other day. Is that part of his program in the offseason? Will he I'm sure he'll be working on things. Do you ever give somebody like a winter ball assignment just for the defensive side of things?
Yeah, 100%. That's why he's playing down there and getting repetitions. The more innings he plays at the position, the better he's going to be. And there's a few things with his arm that he'll work at the academy down there. So we're very excited. I think there's a lot of progress from the last time he was here to now. He's turning the plays, making the play to his right. But like I said about Rafaela, there's a few things with him that he needs to keep improving, and hopefully he can.
Here come the Rays. They're trying to hang into the race, keep contact with the Baltimore Orioles here with a week to go. How do you balance, Alex, the integrity of the standings and the game with taking care of your own guys?
We're going to play. Actually, this is something that we owe it to everybody here. We owe it to Nesson and WEI and the fan base. This weekend with all the conditions, there was a lot of people here. So we're going to play. We had an off day. We got 6 in a row. Obviously smart with Kenley and Marty, but the guys want to compete. If somebody's banged up, then we'll stay at win for them. But overall, I think the goal here is to go out there and play good baseball and see what happens over the week.
Isn't that crazy? It's freezing rain, all these delays, and there's still tens of thousands of people in ponchos at Fenway Park. Do you look around and say, my God, this is just a different place?
It is a different place. And you look around the league, teams that are in the hunt, having big series that started yesterday, and it's not a full house, and obviously disappointing season from my end, from our end. We need to be better, but I think the fan base here is the best in baseball.
Do you start to look around a week to go at this group, at this clubhouse, and think about all the time you've spent together and reflect on the fact that this thing's coming to an end?
Yeah, always. We got that last road trip. We'll do something as a team one of these days, have breakfast with as a group and, catch up. There's a lot of conversations, a lot of guys that they don't know what's going to happen in the future, but the fact that we live in the present, and we like this group, there's a lot of conversations going on.
And how about Tanner Houck today? He's done so many different kind of things for you this year. Some specifics on what you would like to see, not just today, but for him building into next year.
Get stronger and keep throwing strikes. That's the most important thing. So he has 2 more. He has today and he has Sunday. So finish in a positive note and attack the offseason the right way.
And isn't it amazing that a guy takes a line drive off the face and you would never know that watching him pitch?
Yeah, just like Bassett, right, in Toronto. These guys are different. They're tough guys, tough competitors. They enjoy the competition, and that's why he's out there.
You're wearing a very cool T-shirt. Un equipo para todos. A team for everybody. Yeah. What does it mean to you?
I don't know. They put it over there, so I wear it.
Yeah. We thank you, Alex.
Like powder blue doesn't match us, and it matches a lot of teams on our division.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Alex Cora with Will Fleming. Will, Joe, and Sean will have the call coming up. 7:10 first pitch over at Fenway. Time now for the injury report. Presented by Catches Law Group, New England's personal injury pro since 1986. Catches has won over $2 billion for their injured clients, and you never pay unless Catches wins. Injured? Schedule a free legal evaluation by calling 508-321-7000 or at catcheslaw.com. Nothing really new on the injury front for the Red Sox. Reliever Zach Kelly was reinstated from the 60-day IL back on Sunday. All right, we have our bet du jour. A look at the lineup, the pitching matchup, and the scores around Major League Baseball, including what's going on in both the AL and NL wildcard races. All on the way next here on the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
What's up, everybody? I'm Danny Parkins, based out of Chicago. This is my buddy Andrew Filipponi. He's based out of Pittsburgh. You really got to check out our podcast, First and Pod.
Twice a week, we're going to break down the NFL after Thursday Night Football and Sunday Night Football. It's every team. It's every game. It's all 32 teams. We give you a complete picture, and we get into it. We don't kiss each other's fannies on this show.
New episodes of First and Pod available when you wake up every Monday and Friday morning throughout the football season in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Her words weren't written under peaceful shade, but under fear for her life.
I don't think of all the misery, but of the beauty that still remains.
The words of Anne Frank continue to fill us with hope. Hope. Pass it on from PassItOn.com.
Injuries impact our sports teams as well as our jobs. If you make your living in construction or any other trade and you've been injured, Catches Law Group is the firm across New England that has your back. Since 1986, Catches has won over $2 billion for their clients, and you pay nothing unless they win. Been hurt on the job? Contact Catches Law Group for a free evaluation at 508-321-7000 or at catcheslaw.com. KECHES Law.com.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment, the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now at participating dealers, get a Kubota compact tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying implements. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com/disclaimers for full disclaimer.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium is here. Switch to my plan from Verizon at your local store today, and you'll get the amazing new iPhone 15 Pro on us with unlimited ultimate when you trade in any iPhone, any model, any condition. Guaranteed. Yep, even the old phone in your pocket right now. It's your Verizon. $999.99, 128 gigabyte only. Device payment purchase or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on unlimited ultimate plan required. Less $1,000 trade-in or promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR.
Greetings, podcast listeners. This is world-renowned self-proclaimed couples therapist, Dr. Sheila. And I'd like to invite all of you to experience my couples therapy podcast, Say More. On the pod, I talk to couples and you get to listen in on other people's problems and then feel better about your own.
Say More with Dr. Sheila features Amy Poehler as Dr. Sheila. Listen and follow to Say More with Dr. Sheila on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Greg. Last month, I took a trip to Wiggly Bridge, a family-owned, award-winning distillery in Maine, to hand-select barrels for a bourbon blend to benefit the Greg Hill Foundation. The Greg Hill Edition is an easy-sipping 108-proof bourbon with a nose of toasted oak and vanilla and a finish with notes of dark chocolate and honeysuckle. Get yours before they're gone today at fine retailers like One Stop Liquors, Palumbo Liquors, and Frank and Anthony's Seaport Market. And learn more at WigglyBridgeDistillery.com.
The Rich Keefe Show, weekday afternoons starting at 6. Now back to the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Back here on the Mass Mutual Red Sox pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Red Sox and Rays from Fenway Park. First of a 2-game series, the final 2 games at Fenway this season. Red Sox, of course, are out of it. Meanwhile, the Rays are the top wild card team in the American League and currently 2.5 games behind Baltimore for the AL East. Let's get to our bet du jour. It is brought to you by FanDuel, official partner of Major League Baseball. As bad as it's been this year, and it's been rough. There were some rough weeks doing the baseball bets, and this still is not an impressive record by any stretch. But after winning last Friday, I think it was the last pregame I did, 35-35. So I almost don't want to make another bet because I don't want to end with a losing record. But here we go. We have 4 more tonight, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. I'm going to go with the Seattle Mariners on the money line against the Houston Astros. George Kirby is on the mound. He's been great, 3.5 ERA. Massive game for both teams, but give me the Mariners in Seattle to win tonight. We also introduced the home run props. We should have been doing this all season, but we just started it over the last week or so, and I finally got one. Ronald Acuna in his ridiculous season called that one last week. I'm going to stick in the National League, a team that is in the NL wildcard race, currently tied with the Cubs for the second spot behind the Phillies. Christian Walker. Give me a Christian Walker home run. He has 31 on the year, and a Christian Walker home run is at plus 470 tonight against the White Sox. So that'll be my home run prop du jour. Red Sox over-under in the game tonight against the Rays is at 8, which leads us into tonight's pitching matchup of Tanner Houck versus Zach Eflin, and it's sponsored by Town Fair Tire. For the best prices on tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Tanner Houck on the year, 5-9 with a 4.92 ERA. And Zach Eflin, meanwhile, 15-8 with a 3.44 earned run average. And the second best whip in all of baseball. Only Garrett Cole, who is probably going to win the American League Cy Young, is the only pitcher in all of baseball, the only starter with a better whip than Zach Eflin. And this past offseason, Zach Eflin got offers from the Rays and the Red Sox, and they apparently had very similar, if not matching offers, and he chose the Rays. And that is just one of the many examples that you can go back to and say, how did Chaim Bloom, and he's gone now, right? So there's no sense in really just stamping on the guy. But the truth is, if they just offered a little bit more, maybe Zach Eflin is in this rotation this year. And if you have that guy going every fifth day, just what's the trickle-down effect? You know, maybe one of those other guys that had to start some games, he's in the bullpen. Maybe your bullpen doesn't get destroyed as much as it has because Eflin's been really, really, really good for him. And then maybe you have him for, a little bit longer as well, and you don't have to worry about getting so many pitchers in this offseason. Just double-checking. He's also at 172 2/3 innings. So this will probably be his last start of the regular season. I'm not sure how it's penciled in. I don't know if he's starting the last game or not. But so let's say he gets close to almost 180 innings he's going to finish the season with. Pretty good. Pretty good considering how many short starts or openers or whatever else the Red Sox had planned this year. He's also going to factor in, I would say, pretty significantly to what the Rays do in the postseason. Just talking with Will Fleming a moment ago, they have so many starters headlined by Shane McClanahan who are hurt, but they still have Tyler Glasnow. They traded for Aaron Savale from Cleveland at the trade deadline and Eflin. Like, if those guys are pitching games 1, 2, and 3 in these series, you got to think they got themselves a pretty good chance. Eflin's going to face a Red Sox lineup tonight that is brought to you by Herb Chambers, New England's largest selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. At Herb Chambers, we don't sell cars, we help people buy them. HerbChambers.com. Alex Verdugo is in right field leading off tonight, followed by Rafael Devers at third. Justin Turner is the DH batting third. Then Masataka Yoshida in left. Trevor Story, the shortstop, bats fifth. Wilyer Abreu, who homered on Sunday, is in center field batting sixth. Bobby Dahlbeck, who kind of making the most of his couple of weeks up with the big club here, he's at first base batting seventh. And Manuel Valdez is the second baseman batting eighth. And Reese McGuire behind the plate tonight batting ninth again for Tanner Houck. All right, time now for the Subaru of New England scoreboard. With so much to love, you don't want to miss the Subaru of New England A Lot to Love event. For complete details and to find your authorized Subaru retailer, visit SubaruofNewEngland.com. One final from this afternoon. It was game one of the Dodgers-Rockies doubleheader where Colorado got a 4-1 win. As for the games going on right now, Guardians lead the Reds 3-1 in the top of the third. Lucas Giolito on the mound for Cleveland, pitching for his third team this season. Orioles up 1-0 on the Nationals in the second inning. It's a Kyle Bradish game for Baltimore. Royals and Tigers are scoreless in the first. Same for the Phillies and the Pirates. A win tonight for Philly, and they clinch a playoff spot. They've won 5 in a row and are currently the top wildcard team in the National League. Mets and Marlins are currently in a rain delay. You don't like to see that. You don't like to hear that when it comes to the old rain delays. But I think we should be in good shape. I think we should be in good shape over at Fenway tonight. As for the games that start at 7 o'clock or later, Blue Jays hosting the Yankees. Kevin Gausman on the mound. He's had a great year. 12-9 with a 3.29 ERA. Braves are taking on the Cubs. Diamondbacks at the White Sox. D-backs currently, like I said, are them and the Cubs are the second wild card, 1 game up on the Miami Marlins. The Reds are 2.5 back. That seems like it might be tough with the amount of time left, but you got to say the Reds are still in it. So for the last 2 months, this NL wild card race has been really, really good. A's are at the Twins tonight. You have the Brewers taking on the Cardinals. Game 2 of that Dodgers-Rockies doubleheader. Texas Rangers are in Anaheim tonight, taking on the Angels. Giants and Padres from San Francisco, and the Mariners-Astros game that I mentioned before with George Kirby versus Christian Javier. We usually give you your nightly Xander Bogaerts update as the season comes to an end. Looking at his numbers for the year, his first year in San Diego, he's hitting .283, 19 home runs, 55 RBI, which is kind of low, and a .792 OPS. So kind of some ups and downs for Bogaerts this year. It feels like he started kind of a house of fire with this new team, then kind of dipped, as did really the Padres. The Padres are one of the real big disappointments across Major League Baseball this year. You got to think Padres, Mets, kind of at the top of the list. But a .792 OPS, got 5 games left to play. Maybe he'll get to 20 home runs, maybe not. But overall, I think he was all right. Again, that contract is pretty insane. Kind of like, good for him for signing that. But, with a lineup with Juan Soto and Fernando Tatis Jr., just really weren't able to get out of their own way. And lost season for them. We'll see if they bounce back next year. All right, before we hand things off over at Fenway Park, let's take 10 seconds for station identification on the Shaw's and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Network.
From the WEEI studios, 93.7 WEEI FM and HD1, Lawrence, Boston. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
All right, that'll do it for us. So for our producer, Bridget Prue, I'm Rich Keefe. You've been listening to the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Joe Castiglione, Sean McDonough, and Will Fleming of the Call of Red Sox and Rays coming up next on the Shaw's and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Network.
What's up, everybody? I'm Danny Parkins, based out of Chicago. This is my buddy Andrew Filipponi. He's based out of Pittsburgh. You really got to check out our podcast, First and Pod.
Twice a week, we're going to break down the NFL after Thursday night football and Sunday night football. It's every team, it's every game, it's all 32 teams. We give you a complete picture, and we get into it. We don't kiss each other's fannies on this show.
New episodes of First and Pod available when you wake up every Monday and Friday morning throughout the football season in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision change...
What do millions of Americans and 4 U.S. presidents have in common? They all get a better night's sleep in Boll & Branch sheets. Their best-selling signature sheets are made with the finest, most luxurious 100% organic cotton and get softer with every wash. For a limited time only, get 15% off your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com with promo code Odyssey. That's 15% off with free shipping, free returns, and their 30-night worry-free guarantee. Shop now at bollandbranch.com to start getting the best sleep of your life. That's BOLL and branch.com, promo code Odyssey. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Hi, I'm PJ Vogt, here to tell you about my new podcast, Search Engine. On Search Engine, we tackle the kinds of questions that keep you up at night. Like, why are drug dealers putting fentanyl in everything? Should we be worried that Elon Musk believes that we're living in a simulation? And, for the love of God, is it actually unsafe to drink the coffee on airplanes? On Search Engine, no question is too big and no question is too small. Listen and follow Search Engine with PJ Vogt and Odyssey Podcast. Available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
There's a lot to love about you.
With so much to love, you don't want to miss the Subaru of New England A Lot to Love event. Love all the all-wheel drive, all-electric 2023 Subaru Solterra has to offer. The only EV with Subaru safety and capability. Buy with 0.9% financing or lease for just $399 per month. Details at SubaruofNewEngland.com.
Hey, it's Lou from my friends at Shaw's and Star Market. Now through Thursday at Shaw's and Star Market, get 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola or Pepsi, 28-ounce Gatorade or Powerade, or 16-ounce Body Armor for just 97 cents. When you use the digital coupon, you're limited to 6. When you shop with the Shaw's app, you get amazing deals. You earn points on every purchase. You short on time? Order ahead for free curbside pickup or get delivery. It's a thirst-quenching sale at Shaw's and Star Market.
This is.
And the Boston Red Sox are the world champions.
Red Sox Baseball.
And it is good! And Boston strong!
On the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
For the first time in 86 years.
The Red Sox on WEEI are brought to you by Shaw's and Star Market, perfecting the art of fresh. Catches Law Group, New England's injury law pros at catcheslaw.com.
And it's good!
Subaru of New England. Find your authorized Subaru retailer at SubaruofNewEngland.com. Mass Mutual. Insurance, planning, investments. Sponsored by Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Shop NissanUSA.com. Drains by James. Eastern Mass's choice for drain cleaning and pipeline.
And that ball is gone into the front row of the monster seats.
Big Y World-Class Market. It's more than food. It's my Big Y. Buy cars for kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
Looking up, Grand Slam!
By Mike's Amazing, the official mayonnaise of the Boston Red Sox. Ford Trucks, official truck of the Boston Red Sox.
We're going to drive to left field. There are a couple runs way gone.
Arbella, here for good. And by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Long gone into the monster seats.
Sponsored by Town Fair Tire. For the best prices on tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Dig Safe. Click digsafe.com or call 811 before you dig. Cape Cod Lumber. Find the lumber for your next project. cclco.com.
Holy cow!
Sponsored by Sherwin-Williams. Savings and support start day one. Unlock the Pro Advantage at swproplus.com today. Sponsored by Herb Chambers. At Herb Chambers, we don't sell cars, we help people buy them. Now, with all the play-by-play action, here's Joe Castiglione, Sean McDonough, and Will Fleming.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Fenway Park. Second last time we'll be here this season as the Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays have already clinched the first wild card in the American League East. Get set to wind up their season series with a 2-game set here. Rays have won 9 of the first 11 games, including all the previous games played here at Fenway. Red Sox come in at 76-80, so they'd have to win their remaining 6 games to surpass 500 for the season. Tampa Bay is 95-62, 2.5 behind first place Baltimore, but really 3.5 behind because Baltimore holds the tiebreaker should they wind up with the exact same record. We have a cool night here, more than a hint of autumn in the air, temperature into the 50s, but can you believe it? No rain. After this weekend, wow. It has been a very, very wet season. Actually, from June on, we've had 13 rain delays, 4 postponements, and another game, Sunday's in fact, called in the middle of the 6th inning. Umpires wearing gloves and heavy jackets heading to home plate to exchange the lineup cards tonight. And we start off with very, very sad news from the baseball world. One of the greatest gentlemen the game has ever known, the great Brooks Robinson, has passed away at the age of 86. Brooks, the longtime Oriole, entire career with the Baltimore Orioles as an 18-year-old bonus baby. World Series hero, MVP of the World Series and the regular season, a clutch player, maybe the greatest defensive third baseman ever, and one of the finest people ever to wear a big league uniform. And Will, of course, you grew up an Oriole fan, and Brooks was legendary just as much for his personality as he was for his experiences and feats on the field.
Yeah, and I think, that Orioles franchise that was dynastic for the better part of a decade, they really took off when Frank Robinson came. And Brooks, who grew up in a town in Arkansas that was rife with all kinds of racial conflict and tension, protests over integration of schools. Well, Frank Robinson shows up, and Brooks is the first to speak about it, saying publicly, this is exactly what we need. So that sort of underscores what you're talking about. And I mean, he had retired by the time I was, conscious of what was going on with the Orioles, but still revered. And I would say that there are not many people who would say anything other than he's the best defensive shortstop of all time. And he did that without the best arm. It was instincts. He seemed to know where the ball was going immediately off the bat. So
and Brooks was really left-handed. He signed his autograph left-handed. He did everything left-handed except bat and throw. And still had a very accurate arm and a quick release at third and just a sensational glove. And as Jim Palmer said, Brooks never had a bad day in his life. He was always happy.
I think that was true to the very end, and one of the reasons beloved as a player and long after.
Well, getting to tonight's game, the Tampa Bay Rays had the tremendous start, but they are so banged up going into postseason. It really is amazing. They've lost Brandon Lau for the season, fouled the ball off his kneecap, a broken kneecap. Adam, their prime closer, and out with an oblique problem. He's not going to pitch this year. Yandy Diaz, hamstring, not in the lineup. Rosarena has a quad. He's not playing tonight. The list goes on, and it's bad timing for the Rays, but they continue to win here in September.
They just find a way. And you think about the injuries to their starting rotation, fully 3/5 of it out for the year. McClanahan and Rasmussen and Jeffrey Springs. So I think it's remarkable what Kevin Cash has accomplished with this team, and they just keep on motoring. The starting lineups are brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, as Ramon Vasquez presents the card for Alex Cora out the home plate area. Jonathan Aranda is going to lead it off for Cashy. He's the first baseman. Then yet another top prospect has graduated to the big leagues for the Tampa Bay Rays, Junior Caminero, who became their second youngest ever player to debut at 20 years old, and he's had some big moments already. Caminero is the third baseman. He bats second. Isaac Paredes is the DH. He bats third, and then Josh Lowe, the right fielder, cleans up. Curtis Mead, the second baseman, bats fifth. Manuel Margot is in center field. He seems to always get big hits here at Fenway Park. Margot, the center fielder, batting sixth. Raimel Tapia in left field, batting seventh. The reunion for the Red Sox and Raimel. He just joined the Rays a few weeks ago. Taylor Walls is one of the great hands defensive players in the game. He just can do it everywhere, and he's the shortstop tonight, and he bats eighth, while Rene Pinto is the catcher, and he bats ninth. And that lineup, I mean, that underscores all of the injuries that they have been beset by, because that's just not representative of the kind of team they've had nor the kind of season. Of course, the Rays continue to be without their bright supernova Wander Franco, who is under major investigation and placed on administrative leave by Major League Baseball. Meantime, for the Boston Red Sox, Alex Verdugo leads it off. He's in right field. Rafi Devers is the third baseman. He bats second. Rafi, 2 RBIs, shy from 100. Meantime, 5 away from the century mark is the man behind him, Justin Turner, who bats third. He's the DH. Masataka Yoshida started to swing the bat again. He's in the cleanup spot in left field for the Red Sox. And then Trevor Story is the shortstop, and he bats fifth. Tanner Houck leads the Red Sox out onto the diamond. He and Reese McGuire, the first to make their way onto the field. A little bit behind schedule here tonight on a chilly Tuesday night at Fenway. After Story, Wilyer Abreu's really been one of the stories of the last 3 weeks. He's in center field. He had his first Fenway home run on Sunday in that shortened loss to the White Sox. Bobby Dahlbeck has had some moments since rejoining the Red Sox. He's at first base batting seventh. And Manuel Valdez is the second baseman batting eighth, and Reese McGuire catches and bats ninth. They have made some adjustments to the umpire crew, the alignment on the sheet.
Wrong as always.
So we'll clarify that. Sean McDonough's got the binoculars out doing his best investigative reporting to try to determine where they are and who they are, for that matter. Zach Eflin, a guy the Red Sox had targeted in the offseason, is on the mound for Tampa. Gave up 3 runs over 5 innings, but he's had a marvelous season for Tampa Bay. And you'd figure, I think if the playoffs started tomorrow for the Tampa Bay Rays, he very well would be the guy to get the Game 1 start. It's going to be cool. Pitch black skies already overhead here at Fenway Park. Time and temperature brought to you by Window Nation. Protect and increase the value of your home today. 866-90-NATION. Go online at windownation.com. And powering possibilities brought to you by Comcast Business. Complete connectivity, cybersecurity, internet, and mobile, all from one provider. Comcast Business. Powering possibilities as we're ready to go. Aranda and Houck, Red Sox and the Rays. First of a 2-game series that will close the regular home season at Fenway Park. And for the play-by-play, here's Sean McDonough.
All right. Thank you very much, Will. Joe, great to be with you guys. Tanner Houck ready to go. The tall 27-year-old from Missouri. Looking in at Jonathan Aranda, who's slumping as the Rays arrive. He's 2 for his last 28. Left-handed hitter, and he takes a pitch. A called strike, borderline pitch up and away, a fastball at 94. 56 degrees at game time, and the breeze blowing in from center. Swing and a miss at a slider down and in. And already 2 strikes on Aranda. 181 for the year, a homer and 6 runs batted in.
For the second year in a row, he was Durham's AAA Player of the Year. Their MVP.
Played in 29 games so far this year, and he got hit by the pitch. Down on his feet, a slider down and in. He had a break for Aranda in the Rays as he was in an 0-2 hole, and then Houck hits him with a breaking ball. So the lead man is on for Tampa Bay. And the batter is Junior Caminero, as Will mentioned, a top prospect, just 20 years old. Playing third base, hitting .222 as a major league player. Now the home plate umpire, Nick Lentz, is walking down the third baseline. I think the Red Sox are challenging whether that actually hit Aranda or not. Chad Fairchild, the third base ump, is the crew chief. Jeremy Rehack at first base and Charlie Ramos at second base, the other umpires. Rehack is over by the Red Sox dugout in what seems to be a very pleasant conversation with Alex Cora. They're both smiling. So apparently the Red Sox video people convinced that Aranda was not hit by the pitch. But he is down at first base waiting for the ruling. And as we wait, well, here comes the announcement now from Chad Fairchild.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The batter was hit by the pitch. Boston has lost their challenge.
Wow.
Didn't take long to lose the challenge.
No, that's kind of a whiff on the Red Sox part. And now Alex Cora is wondering in the dugout, what did we just do?
I think a miscommunication more than anything.
And now he's shaking his head as if to say, sorry about that, to Tanner Houck, who pitches to Caminero and fires a fastball with the knees for a called strike.
This kid is a #1 prospect.
Playing in his third game. He's 2 for 9 with an RBI.
31 homers between A and AA this year.
Ooh. Former first-round pick takes a fastball inside.
And he is the first Ray ever to go from AA to the big leagues. They usually are very conservative at their players not skipping levels.
Came up on the 23rd 3 days ago. He hits a blast toward the 379 marker, and that ball is off the wall just to the left of that left line by the flagpole. Coming around to the plate and scoring is Aranda's. There's no relay, and it's a double for Caminero. And a very quick 1-0 lead for the Tampa Bay Rays on the first career double for Junior Caminero, his third major league hit and his second big league run batted in. And he smashed that about halfway up the wall just to the left of the 379 marker.
His first 2 hits were 109 and 112 miles an hour off the bat. This one had to be right there too.
They just keep finding them. Houck's pitch is a slider for a called strike to Isaac Paredes, hitting .251 with 30 homers and 95 runs batted in. 30 homers, good for a tie for 8th in the American League. And the pitch is a fastball way inside.
That double is 106 miles an hour off the bat.
Yeah, he looks the part. They said the power came up this year in the minors because he's starting to fill out, understandable. He's just barely 20 years old. Caminero, when he was brought to the big leagues, line drive off the glove of Devers and down into left field corner. A ball that should have been caught. Hit him right in the glove, and he just kind of whiffed on it. To third goes Caminero, and safe at first is Paredes. He hit it very hard, but it was right off the glove of Devers. It looked like it was about face high. We look at the replay. We had to reach for it a little bit on the backhand side, but it's a ball that should have been caught. And we'll await the scoring decision.
Should be an error, no doubt about it.
But in today's baseball, it'll probably be a hit, as everybody gets a hit.
Batter reaches on a fielding error by the third.
Oh, what do you know? It scored an error.
Miracles
so
can
it's 1-0
happen.
Rays, and Houck still with nobody out. Runners at the corners. Here's Josh Lowe, left-handed hitter, takes a breaking ball for a strike. He's hitting .284 with 19 homers, 79 runs batted in.
And 32 steals.
Yeah, a big, tall, long-legged guy who can run. And a pitch, late swing and a miss at a high fastball.
I thought you were describing me until the last part.
Who can run, yes. Run away when the check comes. Tanner Houck, 5-9, a 4.92 ERA in 19 starts prior to tonight. Works off the first base side of the rubber. There's another well-hit ball and a base hit on the ground through the right side. In to score Caminero. Stopping at second, Paredes. And the first 4 Rays have reached on a hit batsman, a double, an error, and now a hard ground ball single through the right side for Josh Lowe. So not a good start for Tanner Houck and the Red Sox. And here's the 5th batter of the inning, Curtis Mead. He's playing second base. Primary position is third base, right-handed hitter. Hitting .273, a homer and 5 runs batted in. Houck looked at the runner at second, throws, and it's a called strike, a sinker at the knees. For Mead, who's played in 20 games for the Rays, and is hitting .273, 18 hits, 66 at bats, a homer and 5 knocked in. Considered to be another prospect. He takes a pitch just inside. And Mead's been hot. He's hit safely in each of his last 13 games that he has started. 17 for 52 in that span. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. That's through into center field. They'll hold the runner at third with nobody out as Abreu has a strong arm and he fires it back into the plate. Brady Williams, the son of former Red Sox manager Jimmy Williams, is their third base coach, who wisely put the stop sign up with nobody out. And the Rays making regular solid contact. That was just another hanging breaking ball over the middle of the plate, much like the pitch he threw to Caminero, who hammered a double off the wall. Dave Bush out to the mound, the Red Sox pitching coach. The Arbella Insurance Foundation is dedicated to striking out cancer by supporting the Jimmy Fund for every strikeout from a Red Sox pitcher during the 2023 season. The Arbella Insurance Foundation will donate $50 to the Jimmy Fund. Arbella, here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good. So 2 runs in, and the bases are full of Tampa Bay Rays with nobody out here in the top of the first. And Houck pitching to a depleted Tampa Bay lineup, as Joe mentioned, without Arozarena, without Yandy Diaz playing tonight, both nursing leg injuries. Manuel Margot chops one foul. Right-handed hitter playing center field tonight, hitting .254 for Tampa Bay. 3 homers, 34 runs batted in. Devers on the edge of the grass at third. Casas way off the line at first. And the pitch, fastball just low with a sinker. Houck and McGuire wanted that, didn't get the call from Nick Lentz. Kevin Cash is the Rays manager. just 45 years old. Youngest manager in Major League history to reach the postseason 5 consecutive seasons. Swinging a chopper off his foot, Margot's front foot. A foul ball.
Margot was on the AL a long time. Missed the series with the Red Sox in Tampa Bay over Labor Day area.
Yeah, he's played in only 94 of their 157 games. Wow. Tampa Bay 95 and 62, and they have their best starter going here tonight, and Zach Eflin, a 15-game winner. 1-2 pitch is way outside. Backhanded by McGuire. Margot with Raimel Tapia on deck, former Red Sox player, started the year with Boston. 2-0 Tampa Bay in the top of the first. The set and the 2-2 pitch. A chopper foul. He got a piece of a slider away.
He just does not have that pitch tonight. He either just hung it, and there's not yet the swing and miss.
Mentioned Kevin Cash's history-making mark, 5 straight seasons in the postseason, youngest manager to do that. Dave Roberts had the record. He was 48 when he clinched his 5th straight postseason berth with the Dodgers back in 2020. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and there's a looping line drive, shallow center. Abreu charging, won't be able to catch it. Plays it on one hop. Everybody goes 90 feet across the plate. Paredes. That was a bloop hit by Margot, and it landed fairly deep in center field, but Abreu was playing deep. So now it's 3-0 Rays, and Margot has another run batted in.
Can we start over?
That would be nice. But it's not going to happen. Houck not sharp. The error by Devers didn't help. And here's Tapia on his 3rd team now. When the Red Sox DFA'd him, he got picked up by Milwaukee. Got into 20 games with them. They let him go. Signed to a minor league deal by Tampa Bay and recently recalled. He takes a slider outside. When you add it all up, it's a .230 average for Tapia. 3 homers, 13 runs batted in. He does have 4 career grand slams. Is it 417? It is career with the bases full. The 1-0 pitch, late swing at a fastball away.
And one of them came right here last year at Fenway Park, inside the park, over the head of Jarren Duran.
Houck has thrown 23 pitches without recording it out yet. And the pitch runs outside. He's just way off.
Start to wonder about his pitch count in this inning, and in fact people are already up and kind of moving in the bullpen.
Tapia called up from their AAA club in Durham just 3 days ago. He's down there for about a month and a half. He takes a slider outside. It's 3-1. He hasn't been close in most of these pitches that have missed. And he has to throw a strike now. Will force in a run. The pitch. Late swing at a fastball away. So the count is full. And the on-deck hitter, excuse me, is Taylor Walls, switch hitting shortstop. Low, the runner at third, Mead at second, Margot at first, and the pitch. It's a chopper down the first base line. Charged by Casas, throws to the plate for one, back to first, not in time. To Houck covering. They went for the 3-2-1 double play, but Tapia beat it with ease. So he picks up an RBI on a fielder's choice. He does not pick up an RBI. They cut down the lead runner low at home plate. 3-2, so the bases remain loaded. And finally an out. It took 27 pitches to get it. Mead at third, Margot at second, Tapia at first. Here's the 8th batter of the inning, Taylor Walls, switch hitting shortstop, hitting .203, much better known, as Will said, for his glove. 8 homers, 33 runs batted in. A slider down and in. They appealed down to third, and Chad Fairchild said it was not a swing. It was close. Might have nipped the inside corner at the knees. Houck with a 1-0 pitch, and that one is a strike on the inside corner, a fastball. Three runs, 4 hits for Tampa Bay. There's been a Red Sox error here in the top of the first. And the pitch is a slider down and in. That one wasn't close. Rene Pinto, the catcher, number 9 hitter, is on deck. Barring a double play ball here, they'll bat around. Wall's 5 for 15 in his career with the bases full with 1 grand slam. Outfield gives him a lot of hitting room toward the triangle. He's laid on a fastball thrown by him by Houck. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tampa Bay very likely to be the wild card team, the top wild card team in the American League. Very unlikely they'll pass Baltimore, as Joe mentioned. Swing and a foul tip, and he just did stay alive as McGuire couldn't squeeze it. And a dribble behind the home plate umpire, Nick Lentz. So they would host the best of 3 wild card round in St. Petersburg starting on Tuesday. The way it lines up right now, probably against Toronto. But some baseball still to be played. Swing and a foul tip into the mid of McGuire for strike 3. So that's the first strikeout of the night for Tanner Houck. It's the second out of the inning, 3 runs in. And the 9th batter of the Rays first is Rene Pinto. Right-handed batting catcher, hitting .242 with 5 homers and 14 runs batted in 35 games. Houck's first pitch to him is a slider way outside.
In that Oriole game, they got off to a quick start as well with Gunnar Henderson leading off the first inning with a home run. By Washington.
Chopper down to third on a big high hop for Devers. He races to third for the force play that ends the inning. Mercifully, but the Rays get 3 runs on 4 hits on a Red Sox error, and after a half inning, it's Tampa Bay 3 and the Red Sox coming up on the Shaws and Star Market WEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Attention sleepers, it's officially cozy season. Snuggle up to savings on select Casper mattresses and more during our fall asleep sale. Save up to $600 on select mattresses, like the Wave Hybrid Snow, with advanced ergonomic support and cooling technology. Or the original Hybrid, with its best-selling balance of comfy springs and foam. Plus, get up to 25% off adjustables, furniture, and bundles that might just be cozier than your favorite socks. Don't snooze. This sale will be gone before you know it. Visit Casper.com or a store near you today. Exclusions apply. See Casper.com/promo.
Greetings, podcast listeners. This is world-renowned self-proclaimed couples therapist, Dr. Sheila. And I'd like to invite all of you to experience my couples therapy podcast, Say More. On the pod, I talk to couples and you get to listen in on other people's problems and then feel better about your own.
Say More with Dr. Sheila features Amy Poehler as Dr. Sheila. Listen and follow to Say More with Dr. Sheila on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Jones and Mego, weekdays 2 to 6.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Well, very rough top of the first for Tanner Houck and the Red Sox. Tampa Bay got 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 4 hits. A hit batsman. And Zach Eflin now pitching with a 3-0 lead. Bottom of the first, he throws strike 1 taken by Alex Verdugo, a sinker. Alex leading off in the Herb Chambers batting order, sponsored by Herb Chambers Audi of Burlington and Audi Brookline. He hits a line drive right at the first baseman, Jonathan Aranda. It was caught for the out. He hit it hard, but Aranda was well positioned. Aranda was playing right along the line. Verdugo went up there hitting .266 with 13 homers and 54 runs batted in. Eflin, a 15-game winner. He's tied for the league lead in wins. He throws strike one, swung on and missed by Devers. Raffy hitting .274, 33 homers, 98 runs batted in. He's 5th in the American League in home runs. He's 4th in runs batted in. They play him to pull. He hits a deep drive to center. Back goes Margot, back to the wall, and he makes the catch. Right up against the center field fence to the right side of dead center field. About 20 to 25 feet left of the 420 marker in the deepest part of the triangle. So a long fly ball out off the bat of Devers. And Eflin has 2 outs on 4 pitches after it took Houck 27 pitches to get his first and 35 pitches to get through the inning. He throws a strike to Justin Turner, who's DHing tonight, hitting .276 with 23 round trippers and 95 runs batted in. Eflin throws a breaking ball away. Throws a cutter. Throw to both sides of the plate. Curveball that he moves around, then every now and then he'll mix in that high fastball. That's not that fast. It's about 93. Missed there with a breaking ball away. And it's 2-1 on Turner. 15 wins, tied with Chris Bassett of Toronto and Kyle Gibson of Baltimore for the league lead. Chopper up the middle, backhanded by the second baseman Meade. He throws a one-hopper to first for the out. Nice play by Meade. He wound up on the left side of second base and still got Turner. And the Red Sox go quickly. 1-2-3 in the first. After 1, the Rays 3, the Red Sox nothing on the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Network.
When you need to know what's happening, it's time to get in the huddle.
Nobody's picking the Colts to win the Super Bowl, so let's just go learn, right?
Well, this is always going to happen. Jim Irsay's calling all the shots there. And the honky-tonk man didn't draft this kid where they drafted this kid to have him look great in practice and look awesome running the scout team. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's play this Minshew cat or whatever on Sunday. Like, no way.
Listen and subscribe to In the Huddle, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Injuries impact your favorite teams as well as your day-to-day. All season long, Catches Law Group, New England's premier personal injury firm, is proud to be the exclusive injury report sponsor of the WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. Since 1986,
Catches has won over $2 billion for their clients.
You pay nothing unless they win. Injured? Get a free legal evaluation at 508-321-7000 or at catcheslaw.com. All season long, you can count on Catches. KECHESlaw.com.
Hey, it's Greg for East Coast Metal Roofing. Now is the time to take advantage of their Fall into Savings program. You get 0% financing, plus you save 10% on a brand new metal roofing system when you mention my name. Their Permalock aluminum shingles will never rust or rot, and they're energy efficient, which will save you money when it comes to the rising cost.
Looking for a fast, convenient family meal that everyone will love? You got to try the 99 Restaurant's new original crispy chicken tenders family meal deal for just $39.99. Each meal serves up to 5 people and comes with sides to share. Only at the Nines.
Hi, it's Tanner Houck. This is the home of the Sox, WEEI.
Rough first inning for Tanner Houck. Gave up 3 runs, 2 of them earned. Faced 9 batters, so Jonathan Aranda leads off for the second inning in a row and takes a strike on a sinker on the outside corner. He was hit by a pitch on a breaking ball when he was behind in the count 0-2, scored the first of their 3 runs. Houck delivers, swing and a miss at a pitch down and in, so hopefully Tanner won't hit him with this 0-2 pitch. Aranda, Caminero, and Paredes, who scored the 3 runs for Tampa Bay in the first inning. That's in the Herb Chambers batting order here in the top of the second. Chopper foul, brought to you by Herb Chambers Lexus of Sharon and Lexus of Hingham. Outfield plays Aranda slightly to the opposite field. He takes a breaking ball outside. The infield plays him to pull. Red Sox actually give him a big gap in right center toward their bullpen. The windup, and number 89 delivers, and it's a ground ball and a base hit. Off-speed slider, and Aranda, an 0-2 hole in each of his first 2 plate appearances, has reached base both times now. And the Rays have 5 hits already. League leaders in Who's Circling the Drain, presented by Drains by James. Check Tampa Bay's situation in the American League playoff race. They are 2.5 games behind Baltimore in the American League East entering tonight's action. Of course, the season ends Sunday. Swing and a miss by Junior Caminero. Swung so hard his helmet came flying off. Formerly a first-round pick of the Cleveland Indians, came over in November of 2021 for Tobias Myers. Short lead for Aranda, and the pitch is fouled off his foot.
If I were a major league executive and the phone rang and the caller ID said Tampa Bay Rays, I'm not picking up the phone.
Do not make a deal.
Pick your pockets.
0-2 on Caminero. He lashed a double off the wall, his first major league double in his 3rd big league game. And he scored the 2nd run last inning. So Tampa Bay's 2.5 out. Highly unlikely that they're going to bypass the Orioles, as Joe mentioned earlier. Baltimore has the tiebreaker, so they'd have to finish ahead. Little number foul. He did well to go down and get a slider away. In the wild card race, the Rays are already in, and if they are the wild card, they're going to be the top of the 3 wild card teams in the American League. Right now, Toronto is number 2, then Houston, with Seattle a game and a half behind Houston. And they're playing again tonight in Seattle, the Astros and Mariners. Pitch down and away. 1-2 on Caminero. Drains by James. Eastern Mass's choice for drain cleaning and pipelining, both residential and commercial, at drainsbyjames.com. At Drains by James, they give a poop about your pipes. The pitch, swing and a miss. They had a slider away, and Caminero might need a new helmet because it keeps flying off. It came off as he swung and missed at that pitch. Maybe that one doesn't fit quite so well.
He's got some hair.
He has, yeah, hair. What do you call that? Like frosted tips?
He does.
I was going to do that tonight. Spike it up a little bit, go with some blonde highlights. Pitch touted away to Isaac Paredes.
You got the little band on the back of your. You could get a little wild.
Have a little wrap around sides. If I could let it, grow out a little bit, we could do something with it.
Doesn't have to be your real hair.
Exactly. Paredes chops one foul after taking ball 1. He reached on the air by Devers. He had a line drive to third. It's hit hard, but should have been caught by Devers with a backhand about ear high.
Do you go to someone to get that trimmed?
No.
You just do it yourself.
I can pretty much handle this myself. I used to, and then the barbers would look at you and you walk through the door like, why are you here? Just lonely. A little looper over the dugout.
Yeah, this takes 20 seconds. That'll be $60.
No, sometimes, when I used to go, though, they would take their time.
Mm-hmm.
I think just to make me feel good. But if you really want to go, you like all the way down the barbershop, they can do it well.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't like doing that. Better than the comb over I used to rock when I was doing the Red Sox games. Ground ball down to third. Devers scoops it up, goes to second for 1. The double play turned. 5-4-3. Valdez turned it. And Houck needed that. Got out of the inning facing, as it turns out, just 3 batters. After an inning and a half, 3-0 Tampa Bay on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Network.
Greetings, podcast listeners. This is world-renowned, self-proclaimed couples therapist, Dr. Sheila. And I'd like to invite all of you to experience my couples therapy podcast, Say More, with Dr. Sheila. And yes, for legal reasons, you do need to say the doctor in the form of a question. On the pod, I talk to couples who are having problems, and you get to listen. And how wonderful is that? To listen in on other people's problems and then feel better about your own. I ask my patients to come in, to open up, and to say more.
Paper Kite Podcast Say More with Dr. Sheila features guests such as Rachel Dratch, Kate Berlant, Paul Scheer, Alana Glazer, Maya Rudolph, Chris Parnell, Anna Gasteyer, and Amy Poehler as Dr. Sheila. Listen and follow to Say More with Dr. Sheila and Odyssey Podcasts on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car right in your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Brace yourselves. Heating season is coming. It's hard to think about right now, but this is the absolute best time to prepare for a warm and comfy winter. Don't wait until you're cold to make the switch to an Energy Star certified, compact, high-efficiency boiler from Navient. Find your local Navient installer at boilercomfort.com.
Her words weren't written under peaceful shade, but under fear for her life.
I don't think of all the misery, but of the beauty that still remains.
The words of Anne Frank continue to fill us with hope. Hope. Pass It On from PassItOn.com.
Red Sox Review after the game on 93.7 WEEI.
Bottom of the second here at Chili Fenway Park. 3-0 Tampa Bay. Zach Eflin throws ball one outside to Masataka Yoshida. Red Sox cleanup hitter tonight, hitting .288, 15 homers, 71 runs batted in. .288, good for fifth in the American League. He has a big swing and a little foul, just ticked it back to the backstop.
Enough on Eflin. So I know Houck liked that double play. I did not. I have to follow up on the comb over. How long did you hold on?
Oh, longer than I should when I look back at the pictures. 1-1 pitch, and the hardest part was, you had to have the hairspray, because if you didn't, gust of wind came up and those little strands went straight up in the air. Yeah, it was a bad idea. 2-1 pitch, ground ball hit to second. Scooped up by Curtis Mead, who throws to Jonathan Aranda for the out. Now through Thursday at Shaw's and Star Market, get 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola or Pepsi. 28-ounce Gatorade, that's a lot of Gatorade or Powerade, or 16-ounce Body Armor for 97 cents when you use the digital coupon. Limit 6. That's a lot of Gatorade if you're going to have. It's a fantastic product, obviously. It's a thirst-quenching sale at Shaw's and Star Market. Some of us are thirsty people. Ball one down and away to Trevor Story at 188, 2 homers, 10 runs batted in. Where the Safe Light Auto Glass part of the order off the end of the bat. A little looping fly ball on the right field line. A long run, and it's off the glove of Josh Lowe. And in, just fair, and into second goes Story. Boy, Lowe had a long way to run, but as we said earlier, he's a tall guy, about 6'5", long strider who can really move. He got there, and when he got there on the run, it was above the belt. It was almost letter high when it hit him in the glove. I mean, it hit him right in the webbing of the glove. He was getting close to that sidewall over by the right field line, but they have charged him with an error.
I thought that one was kind of a coin flip.
You know what? That's where you kind of get penalized for having speed, because most guys wouldn't have gotten there.
It's true.
The Story's at second. The Red Sox have their first base runner, and Wilyer Abreu takes a strike, hitting .362, 2 homers and 11 runs batted in. 3-0 Rays. We're in the second. Story leads from second, held by the shortstop Walls. Fastball is a borderline strike on the inside corner.
Have you seen Abreu yet, Sean? Like, has he been in the games you've done?
I heard you on the pregame show. I agree with you. I think he's terrific.
Man.
You know, he looks the part. He can hit for power. Seems to have a sense of the strike zone. He's got an excellent throwing arm, which he likes to show off. 0-2 pitch, off-speed pitch, pulled on the ground to Meade at second, to Aranda for the out. That's the end of the Safe Light auto glass part of the batting order for every home run hit by Red Sox batters 3 through 6. Safe Light will donate $200 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. I was supposed to read that twice. So we've not only reached the Safe Light auto glass part of the order, we are now through it.
Through it, yep.
And Safe Light still donates $200 to the Greater Boston Food Bank. Bobby Dahlbeck takes a curveball for a strike. Hitting .273. 1 homer, 1 run batted in. Eflin's pitch is outside. He's a very fast worker. 15-8 with a 3.44 ERA. Story leads from third. The Rays lead 3-0. Breaking ball inside.
Red Sox offered him the identical contract that he took from the Rays, but he's from Florida. The tax benefits. He just wanted to go home.
And it's working out for him. He's born in Orlando, lives in Oviedo, Florida. Signed a 3-year, $40 million deal with the Rays on December 13th. Ooh, late called strike to Dahlbeck. Eflin 7th in the league in ERA. 6th in opponent's batting average against at .235. 2nd in whip at 103 behind only Garrett Cole. Pop up down the right field line, slicing over by the tarp, and foul, not caught. Hit the netting just to the side of the tarp.
I like how you gave me like a knowing and approving nod when you heard about tax benefits.
Yes. There are many who go to Florida for that reason, or stay in Florida.
Tennessee now has become a magnet for that.
Joe's very quiet over there.
I haven't become a citizen of Florida, though.
Yeah, because you have to be there half the year.
Right.
And that would be hard for you.
So
although now that you're on a limited schedule, you could go back and forth.
If it were his call, he would.
The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He threw a fastball by Dahlbeck. And that ends the inning. After 2, 3-0 Rays on the Shaws and Star Market WEI Red Sox Network.
When you need to know what's happening, it's time to get in the huddle.
Nobody's picking the Colts to win the Super Bowl, so let's just go learn, right?
Well, this was always going to happen. Jim Irsay's calling all the shots there. And the honky-tonk man didn't draft this kid where they drafted this kid to have him look great in practice and look awesome running the scout team. You know what I mean? But yeah, let's play this Minshew cat or whatever on Sunday. Like, no way.
Listen and subscribe to In the Huddle, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like, that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn-Alabama football. It's Cowboys-Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
The Greg Hill Show, weekdays, 5:30 to 10.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEI Red Sox Radio Network.
We're back at Fenway Park and heading to the 3rd inning. Sean McDonough with Will Fleming and Joe Castiglione. Tampa Bay leading 3-0. They've out-hit the Red Sox 5-0. Each team has been charged with an error. And it looks like there might be an injury situation with Red Sox catcher Reese McGuire. Looking at his left hand.
His thumb.
Yeah, it's his thumb.
Take a beating with.
I wonder what happened during. Yeah, there was a warm-up toss that Houck just bounced up there, and McGuire tried to backhand it out of the dirt. Must have hit him awkwardly. Looking at another NESN replay.
He's coming out.
Looked like it hit him right in the mitt, but he's coming out of the game.
His left thumb. Pretty hard to protect that. So he's going into the dugout anyway.
Chance to do the scores that I also did not have a chance to do in the last inning because we're talking about comb-overs. It's time now for the Subaru of New England scoreboard. Are you ready, Mr.
Please.
Fleming? Of course you are. With so much to love, you don't want to miss the Subaru of New England A Lot to Love event. For complete details, to find your authorized Subaru retailer, visit SubaruofNewEngland.com. And always offering a lot to love. Here's Will Fleming.
Aaron Nola's got a no-hitter in the top of the 6th. They're hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates, free agent to be.
Oh, you're dropping hints when you say something. A guy who would look good here.
He would.
In a organization starved for pitching. Especially
the number one
pitching.
priority. It's not even close.
Yes, it is.
And more
to
than
be
one.
a great team, you have to have good starting pitching. Excellent starting pitching.
And there are a lot of good options, one of whom is currently finishing up the season over in Japan. He'll be the highest ticket item of the offseason, I think, other than Ohtani Yamamoto, this guy who's just a phenomenal pitcher. So see whether the Red Sox can get that in the fold. The Orioles, on the day that Brooks Robinson passed away, they lead the Washington Nationals 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Their magic number to clinch the American League East, as Joe said, because of the tiebreaker. This is quick math time. 4?
Oh, I thought you knew.
I think it's 4.
What? Okay.
It is.
Rough guess.
Approximation. This Connor Wong's going to get the gear on and begin to play catch with Bobby Dahlbeck. The the Reds and Guardians are playing as Tito Francona coming down the home stretch of what is certainly a Hall of Fame managerial career. His Guardians lead the Reds with their fading postseason hopes. 2.5 games out of the final National League wildcard. Guardians 7 and the Reds 5. Yankees and Blue Jays scoreless in the bottom of the 3rd. And all the other games that matter get going a little bit later. The Mariners hosting the Astros. That's Christian Javier and George Kirby. Mariners have picked a bad time to play about their worst baseball of the whole season. To fall out of the picture with all that great starting pitcher.
They were so hot for so long, and it looked like Texas was just in a free fall. Of course, Texas had a number of key injuries and have gotten players back. But now Texas seems to be a lock, and it's Seattle, Houston, and Toronto kind of slugging it out right now for those last 2 wild card spots.
Really, and Texas got hot. They got healthy when the Red Sox were down there with Seager and Young, the rookie third baseman, returning, and so did Adolis Garcia. They look like a juggernaut offensively right now.
Connor Wong has the gear on now. They let him fire some throws down to Tristan Casas from home plate to first base to get his arm loose, and now because of the delay, Houck given a couple of more warm-up pitches. He's ready to go, and so is the Hall of Fame voice of the Red Sox, Joe Castiglione.
Thank you very much, Sean. Good to have you and Will with us here tonight as the Red Sox play the penultimate home game of the season. Here is Josh Lowe, who's really had a great season. It's been rather quiet. He, with one more home run, will have a 30-double, 20 homer, and 20 stolen base season. He's got 32 steals. With 19 homers, a left-hand batter takes a strike over the inside edge with a slider. He was charged with an error on that fly ball out by where the box seats jut out that he couldn't hang on to. Here's the 0-1, and he lines a base hit into right center field toward the gap. Verdugo hustles over, cuts it off, Low with a big turn, holds it first. You know, the last maybe 2 weeks or so, we've noticed more errors being called, and I wonder if Major League Baseball has talked to these scorers again and said, hey, let's back off on all the hits.
Should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the rule book says.
Because they've been terrible all year, calling just about everything you hit, and now we're seeing more errors called.
I agree with you. I thought that Will and I were talking about it. I think Lowe was penalized for speed.
Yeah, he got there. Ground ball foul, pulled third base side off the bat of Curtis Mead, who's in center field. The Rays are going to be forced to go with some of these young guys in the postseason with all their injuries. They're not going to have Brendan Lau. He fouled the ball off his kneecap and suffered a broken kneecap. Yandy Diaz should be back. He's got a tight hamstring now. Same with Arozarena, who has a sore quad, swing and a miss.
Now, Yandy Diaz is 3 points out of the lead for the batting title. He's 328. Corey Seager of Texas, 331. You think it's the old hamstring? Let's see how it goes for a couple days, whether I need to get back out there.
Well, you never know. We've seen that before.
A couple of offers for Corey Seager, and you know what? I think I just might rest it up for the playoffs.
0-2 missing inside, 1-2. Remember the last day of '86. Don Mattingly was trying to catch Wade Boggs.
Did Wade?
Didn't play.
Yeah, well, then he won a batting title.
Here's a 1-2. Swing a line drive, base hit by the diving Devers into left field for a hit.
Whereas Ted Williams made the exact opposite choice.
It went 6 for 8, hit 406. Remember Ken Coleman telling me about the race, and I believe it was 1970. Alex Johnson and Carl Yastrzemski going to the batting crown, and Alex Johnson got, I believe, 2 hits his first 2 time up, came out of the game, kept the lead, won the batting title. So 2 men on, nobody out.
Though? I mean, if you're Alex Johnson, right, the rest of your life you said, I want a batting title. When people look
over Carl Yastrzemski.
Right.
Breaking ball low and away. Alex Johnson was a very good player. Didn't always play hard, but he was a tremendous athlete.
Plus, all those games being the last day of the season. You play, you get a couple hits. That one I'm sort of okay with.
Well,
and
not
I'm
with
not
a pennant
accusing
on the line.
Yandy Diaz of that, I'm sure.
There's a ground ball pulled foul by the third base coaching box where Brady Williams is stationed.
Can Brady clap? We were talking, it's hard on radio to demonstrate, but Jimmy Williams, his dad, used to clap what I would call backwards. Like his fingers would be pointing in opposite directions.
At the heel of the hand?
What do you call this part?
The heels touch, his right finger is pointed toward his left elbow.
Yes.
Quiet that way. Ground ball pulled again by the diving Devers in the left field. The base hit. They're waving low home. Here comes Yoshida's throw. It's on line. He slides. And what's the call? Safe.
The ball got
it
through.
Did get away.
Long. As Lowe slid in, I think he might have actually kind of kicked the ball past Wong. If Wong had been able to field, it was going to be a very close play. I'm surprised the aforementioned Brady Williams waved the runner around with nobody out.
Well, I think part of it's because of the reputation of Yoshida's arm. Yoshida got to it quickly, and he made an accurate throw, one hop. It was late anyway, even that he hung on. It was a good slide by Lowe, going in with a hand tag at the plate. So it's 4-0 with runners at first and second. But you're right, most coaches would not have sent a runner in that situation. Margot with his 40th RBI. Ground ball pulled just foul outside of first off the bat of Tapia.
So that ties the season high hit total allowed by Houck, and there's nobody out in the third inning.
And nobody warming up. He's up to 59 pitches.
4 runs, 8 hits. Margot with 2 RBIs tonight now, giving him 41 on the year. Injury plague season. Tapia grounded into a force with a runner thrown out at the plate his first time up, and he takes a strike. This is his 3rd big league club this year. Red Sox let him go. Milwaukee signed him. They let him go eventually and came to the Rays with their need with all their injuries. Pitch to the former Toronto Blue Jay is swung on and grounded weakly to first base. Grabbed right by the bag. Dalbec steps on it, looks at second, but no throw. Same effect as a sacrifice bunt. 3 unassisted. Meade to third. Margot to second. And here comes Taylor Walls, who struck out with the bases loaded.
I apologize to Bobby Dalbec a couple times tonight. I think I said it was Tristan Casas down there, but it's been Dalbec.
2 big men.
2 big men.
Bobby lost some weight during the season. Tied for the International League lead in home runs with 33 and was Worcester's MVP. There's a ground ball bounce. Diving stab by Valdez is only played at first. It gets him for the out, but that ball was ticketed for right field with the infield in. And then Manuel Valdez, not known for his glove, made a diving stab. He made some very good plays over the weekend against the White Sox as well.
Alex Cora told me they're really encouraged with some of the changes he's made. He's going to go play winter ball for that reason, to get more reps defensively.
But another run did score, so it's 5-0. But that could have been a 2-run hit. The only play was to first after he left his feet. So 4-3 on the out. And Meade scored. So with runners at third and 2 down. Here's Pinto, the catcher. Pinto takes it outside, ball 1. He's not 2 for his last 19. After grinding into a 5-4 force in the first inning to end it. 5 runs, 8 hits for the Rays. The pitch is a breaking ball inside corner, call strike. The last 2 years especially have been very one-sided in favor of Tampa Bay. This rivalry, 9-2 against the Red Sox this year. The pitch, swing, there's a high shot hit deep to left center field, back by the wall, and it is gone. Yeah, right near the flagpole, a 2-run homer for Rene Pinto, who homered against the Red Sox earlier this month at Tampa Bay, and it is now 7-0 Tampa Bay in the 3rd inning.
This might be the hardest I've ever seen Tanner Houck get hit. He's just not used to quality contact like this. One after another, Rays hitters just pounded him.
6th home run for Pinto, who now has 16 RBIs. Dave Bush visits the mound. Now finally some action in the bullpen, but it's been a rough night for Tanner Houck. Loud contact, and he is right now penciled in to start the final game in Baltimore. Whether that happens remains to be seen. It's been a tough outing. 6 of the runs earned. Rene Pinto with home run number 6. Second against the Red Sox.
Kind of an outing at the end of a year that can just destroy your ERA.
We'll say Zach Kelly tonight.
He's getting.
He was hurt against Tampa Bay in April. The pitch is swung on line into right center field. The base hit by Aranda toward the gap. He hits first. He's on his way to second. Here comes Verdugo's throw, and it's too late. Not a lot on it. And it's a double for Aranda. The hits just keep on coming for the Rays. And they're solid. Even the error made by Devers was on a bullet. So Aranda was hit by a pitch to open the game and scored, single, and now has doubled.
He batted 3 times in 3 innings.
And he'd been 2 of 28 coming into this game.
Healthy in a hurry. And this is a Rays lineup doing this against Houck. With no Lau, no Rosarena, no Diaz.
Here's a pitch thrown away to the youngster Junior Caminero with a high wall ball double to left center in the first and struck out his next time up. 7-0 already. Here's the pitch home. Swinging a foul tip around the batter's box. This kid is just 20 years old, hit 31 home runs between A-ball and Bowling Green and Double-A in Montgomery. Knocked in 94 runs and hit 324s. One of the top prospects in the game. Their number 1 pick for sure, maybe an overall. Pitch is a breaking ball low and away.
Yeah, Baseball America has him ranked the number 5 overall prospect, and MLB.com number 6.
Junior Caminero. This will be Houck's 70th pitch. Here it is. And a foul slice to the right. Out of play. Diesel Direct question of the day brought to you by Diesel Direct to remind you to stop wasting time at the pump. Get on-site fuel with Diesel Direct. Results to be read in the 7th inning. Jacoby Ellsbury, the last MLB player to steal 70 bases in the season. Well, Ronald Acuna now sits at 68, reached that benchmark. Give you the results in the 7th inning. The pitch is taken low.
Yes, he will.
If he wants to. You know, there's always a risk when you steal bases that you're going to get hurt. 3-2 pitch coming. And Caminero grounds it to third. Rafi gets a good hop and fires a strike to first to retire the side, but not before the Rays put 4 more on the board. After 2.5, 7-0 Tampa Bay on the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Network.
It's the final days of summer. Don't let the sun set on your chance to drive home your dream car. Hurry into Flood Ford for limited time offers on new or pre-owned vehicles. Save as much as $14,000 off MSRP on a new Ford with 3.9% APR. Looking to trade? We're offering the highest trade-in values ever. Don't miss your chance to drive home your brand new Ford or pre-owned vehicle during the final days of summer event. Visit us in East Greenwich or Narragansett or online at floodauto.com.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
I'm Tony Kornheiser, and this is my show. What, you expecting something different? Whether you're looking for deep, insightful dives into the day's top sports stories, that's why we have guests, right, Nigel? Or simply how to get change for 100, you'll find it on the Tony Kornheiser Show. From football picks, from the best prognosticators in the business, including a monkey, to real-time baseball playoff analysis, to traffic in an area where you don't live. We got you covered. My friends come on, and you know them. Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Gresh and Fourier, weekdays 10 to 2.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Now the Beatles in Penny Lane, that was we played every time Tommy Lane came into a game for the Red Sox, the left-handed reliever, and Tommy's visiting with us tonight as Manuel Valdez takes the ball up and away. Great to see you, Tommy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to speak a little bit.
You seemed like you pitched every day when you were here. 63 games one year, 64 the next year. Hard ground ball right side, through for a base hit by Valdez to open the last of the third inning. Leadoff man is on for Connor Wong. And you didn't even spend the whole year in the big leagues, did you? Those years?
No, I had a lot of pieces. I think 2015 was probably my most solid year. Broke with the team, went down soon after some guys came off the DL. But, no true cradle-to-grave seasons with them.
So leadoff single brings up Wong, who took over for the injured McGuire. Seemed to hurt his thumb catching a warm-up pitch that bounced. Eflin's pitch is fouled to the right side, out of play. And we said we always played the Beatles Penny Lane when you came into a game. Did you like that?
I did. It was Torey Lovolu when he was here. That was his big thing. It always reminded him, and he said something to somebody, and it just stuck. So
yeah, we followed through every time you came out of the bullpen, even when you were just warming up sometimes. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball low. Now you're in the real world. Tell us why you're in Boston.
Yeah, I'm in the real world. So I work for a ground improvement contractor, specialty design build, ground improvement, and we've got a big job going on in Chelsea, Massachusetts. So we're up here taking a visit and making sure everything's going good and into the real world. Big kid work.
Building a warehouse, the 1-1 swing and a miss, and you brought your crew to the game.
Yeah, I've got my VP of operations here with me. He's been instrumental in my development as I was transitioning out of the baseball life, kind of learning the business a little bit, and then some of our guys that are on site doing the real hard work.
So not every ball player can just go play golf every day after they retire. There's a pop foul first base side out of play. And another thing we recall vividly when you were here, that your wife is a nurse and had dentist. I mean, she was a dentist and had licenses in several states to practice.
Yeah, she had to practice so much and get so many hours in to maintain her license, and so she temped dentists around Massachusetts area. And
here's the pitch to Wong. It's in the dirt, looking for a ball, 2-2.
In a couple surrounding states, so the licensing works kind of funky, but depending upon how what boards you take, you're certified to practice in certain states, and one of them covers quite a few, and the other ones can be a little tricky. But she maintained her license, and now she's at home following her career after following me for mine.
Wonderful. 2-2 pitch coming, and Wong swings it foul, tips it, and it's held by the catcher Pinto for strike 3. So she's a full-time dentist, and you have 3 little ones, huh?
Yeah, full-time dentist. I've got 2 girls and a boy, just getting ready to turn 8, getting ready to turn 5, and then my 2-year-old turned 2 at late August. And girls are pretty low-key, but my son, he's an animal. So looking forward to what life brings with that
Is he a left-hand pitcher yet? Too soon to tell.
He thinks everything is something to throw. And I guess that's just but it is right-handed.
Oh,
so
well, still.
Yeah, I got to pick my poison. But no, he's hopefully he's going to be a little baseball player.
Ball 1 to Verdugo, line to first his first time up. Tommy was with the Red Sox in 2014 through 2016. Pitch is low, and see how many games you pitched for the Red Sox in those years. 128 games. And you were a workhorse.
Yeah, it was half of 14. Basically, the guys got traded Andrew Miller that year, and then I got the call up. And then
1-1 is hit hard on the ground into right field by the diving second baseman Meade. Valdez on his way to third. Here's the throw across the diamond, and they got him. Oh, the third baseman Caminero tagged him on the back leg, and Valdez is out. Ball was hit pretty hard. A bit surprised he went here down 7-0, but Josh Lowe made a perfect throw. That's a pretty good arm.
Yeah, it was a good throw. It was on the money, too. Third baseman had come off the bag a little bit, but plenty of time to tag the feet of the runner.
His hand was just about to hit the bag when Caminero tagged him on the ankle, diving in. So 9-5 on the out. 2 down with a runner at first for Devers, who flied to deep center his first time up. And he takes it away, ball 1. Visiting with Tommy Lane, former Red Sox lefty. He was here less than a decade ago. 14 through 16. Started with San Diego. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it swung on, hit on the ground to second base. Meade has it, flips to first for the out to retire the side. Tommy, great to see you. Thanks for coming up to say hi.
Appreciate it, Joe. Thanks for having me.
A lot of your Red Sox fans still remember you well.
Well, appreciate my time here.
All right, after 3, it's 7-0. Tampa Bay on the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Network.
Hey, everyone. This is Richard Deitch, and I host the sports media of the Richard Deitch Podcast. What can you expect from this podcast? Well, each week I'll have interviews and in-depth conversations with the people who bring you the sports you love, as well as roundtables with sports media reporters about television, digital, audio, radio, print, and other forms of media. If you are interested in sports broadcasting and how you watch, listen, and read about the games you love, listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Headed to Fenway? Don't let getting there ruin the fun. Park in Prudential Center's garage, just a short walk or pedicab ride from the park for only $20. While you're there, be sure to shop or grab a bite from a selection of over 70 shops and restaurants. See Fenway like never before from atop Prudential Tower at View Boston, the city's only indoor-outdoor observatory. Raise a glass before the game on View Boston's 360-degree outdoor deck with clear views of the stadium. Be sure to park at Prudential Center and make it your first stop.
Jones and Mego, weekdays 2 to 6.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
4th inning, 7-0 Tampa Bay, and Zach Kelly takes over, and he is off the catches injury list. We're happy to report his first appearance since he faced Tampa Bay in St. Pete and left the game with an elbow issue. He was left in tears, and he needed surgery to move a nerve, but he's back. Long and winding road, but here he is. Zach Kelly, his first appearance since April. Catches Law Group has won over $2 billion since 1986 for their injured clients. Never pay unless Catches wins. Schedule a free legal evaluation at 508-321-7000 or catcheslaw.com. And Kelly's first pitch back is outside ball 1 to Isaac Paredes, who reached on an arrow and his line drive went right through Rafi Devers' glove, then he grounded into a 5-4-3 double play. Paredes has 30 homers. And the pitch of the right-hand batter, down and in for a ball. Tough outing for Tanner Houck. 3 innings, 7 runs, 6 earned, 10 hits, the most he's allowed this season. No walks, he hit a man and fanned 2. The pitch to Paredes is a strike, sinking fastball over the inside corner. Great to visit with Tommy Lane. He loved that when we play Penny Lane when he come into the ball game. Said Torey Lovullo will put the idea in our heads. When he was third base coach or the bench coach here. 2-1 pitch. You swung on, hit hard to the ground, backhanded by Story. Throws from the edge of the outfield grass accurately to first for the out, 1 down. I've been on Penny Lane. We took the Beatles tour when the Red Sox were in London and Liverpool, and our guy actually grew up on Penny Lane, and there is a barber shop there. I don't know whether the barber was taking photographs, didn't take our photograph.
You dovetailed that on the London trip with the Red Sox, right?
Yeah, I went to Liverpool the following day, about a 2-hour train ride from London. Inside and low to Josh Lowe, who's had 2 singles and then throw out a runner at third. He scored a run, he's driven in a run. This kid's really come into his own. His older brother plays for Texas. Nathaniel Lowe pitches low. Brennan Lau, spelled the same, is out for the season with a broken kneecap as he fouled the ball off his knee. And that really hurts. He hit the walk-off home run last time we saw them off Kenley Jansen. So Zach Kelly gets the first man in his comeback game. Foul to the left out of play. 2-1 to Lowe. After Thursday at Shaw's in-Star Market, get 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola or Pepsi, 28-ounce Gatorade or Powerade, or 16-ounce Body Armor for just 97 cents when you use the digital coupon. Limit 6. It's thirst-quenching sale at Shaw's in-Star Market. There's a foul down the third base side out of play. There are some other alumni in the ballpark tonight besides Tommy Lane. Jake Peavy is here. Jake tells us he's working in MLB TV and also for MLB, trying to promote the game of baseball. He's got some very strong ideas about how players should be promoted. Foul to the left out of play.
Did he drive his duck boat to Fenway today?
No, he didn't take his cable car either. Remember, he bought a duck boat after the Red Sox won the World Series here in 13, and next year he's with the Giants. They won the World Series. He bought a cable car. Still lives in Alabama, his native state. Great to see Jake. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And a drive poke to left center field. Abreu moves over to his right and grabs it for the out. And Ed Romero Sr. is here tonight. The father of the Red Sox Vice President Eddie Romero. That played for the Red Sox on that great 1986 team. Utility infielder, very, very short-handed. Later coach with Houston. Curtis Mead takes it low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Mead has singled twice. Red Sox getting their first look at this guy. Was not with him when we were at Tampa Bay, but with all their injuries, they've had to shuffle. Foul tipped into the mitt. Lost 3/5 of their rotation. They've had bullpen issues. Adam, their prime reliever now, is out for the season with an oblique injury. Ground ball hit weakly wide of third. Raffy charges, gloves, fires in time. And finally a 1-2-3 inning. So welcome back, Zach Kelly. He's got to feel great about that as he walks off the mound. But after 3.5, it's 7-0 Rays on the Shaw's in-Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Network.
Hey everyone, this is Richard Deitch, and I host the sports media The Richard Deitch Podcast. What can you expect from this podcast? Well, each week I'll have interviews and in-depth conversations with the people who bring you the sports you love, as well as roundtables with sports media reporters about television, digital, audio, radio, print, and other forms of media. If you are interested in sports broadcasting and how you watch, listen, and read about the games you love, listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
WEEI and Big Y, your family market, have teamed up to give customers a chance to trade their shopping night for a night out at Fenway with the Family Night at the Ball Game sweepstakes. Head to WEEI.com/Big Y for your chance to win all season long. WEEI general contest rules apply.
Football season is here, and FindMassMoney.gov wants to help you get ready for your game day ritual every week. Check your name, your friends' names, and your family members' names, and see if you have money from unclaimed assets like forgotten bank accounts, stock certificates, refund checks, utility companies, and more. They are currently holding over $3.4 billion in unclaimed property. And if you haven't looked in a few months, go now and look. They're constantly updating the list. If you're a business or a nonprofit, make sure you check for your name as well. FindMassMoney.gov. It's fast, it's easy, and it's free.
The Rich Keefe Show, weekday afternoons starting at 6. Now back to the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Fourth inning brought to you by Cars for Kids. Donate your car, help the child. Schedule a free pickup at 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS or carsforkids.com. Justin Turner leading off, takes the ball here in the Herb Chambers batting order, sponsored by Herb Chambers, Mercedes-Benz of Boston, Mercedes-Benz of Natick, and Flagship Motor Cars of Linfield. Turner bounced out 4-3. Very good play made by the second baseman, Meade. In the first inning, he takes the ball low and away. The Sox have had 2 hits, but a runner thrown out at third. They have not scored. They trail 7-0 as Eflin delivers, and it's grounded hard and foul. Eflin trying to become American League's first 16-game winner. He's tied for the league lead in wins. He is the 6th toughest to hit, 235 average, second in whip, 1.03 walks and hits per inning. He's had an excellent year. Pitch home to the tall righty is a breaking ball, strike over the outside edge. Garrett Cole seems like the front runner for the Cy Young, but Eflin's going to get a lot of votes. And time called by Pinto, the catcher, going out. Could be a pitch comm issue here.
And he'll definitely, assuming they are the wild card and are home starting on Tuesday, he's going to be their game 1 pitcher. Probably Tyler Glass now game 2. Then they have to figure it out from there.
You may have that series on ESPN.
It's likely, yes. I believe we're going to have that series. It's likely they'll be in Tampa Bay
against Toronto, the way it now stands.
Be working with Jessica Mendoza and Tim Kirkjian.
That'll be fun.
Will be fun. 2 nice people. It'd be nice for a change to work with some nice people in a 3-man booth.
You didn't get it here. Low and away, 3-2. Turner up. On deck is Yoshida. Who's on deck? Brought to you by On Deck, America's largest online small business lender. Apply today at ondeck.com. And Turner swings, hits a towering pop-up right near the second base bag. The shortstop wall is now coming in on the grass behind the mound and has it for the out.
I legitimately have never once talked to Tim Kirkjian and not smiled. I mean, he's just like
he's one of those people,
shining
if you
light.
don't like Tim, there's something wrong with you.
Yes.
Because he is incredibly nice.
Yes, and Mr. Baseball all the way.
Still one of my favorite moments ever doing ESPN baseball was
Yoshida takes the ball.
We were doing a game in Milwaukee. I believe I was working with Mark Mulder in the booth, and Tim was our sideline reporter. So we decided, it was decided Tim was going to race in the hot dog, sausage, bratwurst race. So
The 1-1 to Yoshida is swung on and hit hard right at the second baseman Meade. On a short hop, he gobbles it up and throws him out.
So he practiced in the whole thing. So then they come out, and Tim's very short, and those costumes are kind of tall. You can YouTube it. If I would encourage both of you, maybe between innings, I think you could. But first of all, they started by like the third base coach's box, and they went around behind home plate down the right field line. And Tim got bumped, and he started running in the wrong direction.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was he the sausage or the hot dog?
I believe he was. We'll have to find it online. It was a while ago.
Swinging strike by Story, reached on a two-base error by right fielder Lowe. The 0-1 pitch. He is swung on and foul tipped into the mid. Need a ride after the game. Take the free Fenway shuttle to Encore Boston Harbor. Pickup location at David Ortiz Drive across from Gate A. Visit BostonEncore.com/Fenway Shuttle. You found it?
I did. The wonders of the internet.
I couldn't stop laughing. I was trying to call it, tongue-in-cheek. Just seeing it now, it's making me laugh.
0-2, check swing low.
You can see his little...
Tim's number 4 there.
He is. He's got the slacks and the tennis shoes on.
We're just amusing the heck out of ourselves right now.
I was keeping up with him for a while.
Yeah. He didn't realize the race was starting, which was a problem.
1-2 foul to the right into the seats.
Too busy yucking it up.
Do you want to do a play-by-play call of how many of them there are?
There are 4. He's shaking hands with fans. He looks a little wobbly, really.
You can see how much
He's
taller
top
the other
heavy.
people though.
Yeah.
There are 5 pieces of beef there.
Ball tipped into the mid and a big swing by Story at strike 3, held by the catcher Pinto. And after 4, it's 7-0 Rays on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Network.
Football season is finally back, and BetQL is here to help you win more consistently this year. BetQL is an absolute game changer if you're looking to find trends to help you win. Make smarter bets on spreads, totals, player props, and more. BetQL has already helped over 300,000 people with powerful analytics and community insights. Don't fumble away your cash this football season. Visit BetQL.com for their free daily analysis today. That's BetQL.com. BetQL.com.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Are you picking up the kids from school?
No, I'm picking up the kids.
Okay, so I'll pick up something for dinner?
Yes, I'll pick up dinner.
Wait, what?
To help with your busy back-to-school routine, don't forget Shaws and Star Market offer free curbside pickup or get delivery. Just order ahead and we'll have your groceries ready for you curbside. Or we can deliver right to your door. Make back-to-school time easier with Shaws and Star Market.
Honey, I'm home.
Where are the kids?
Oh, shoot.
Free curbside pickup or get delivery. Shaws and Star Market.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres? In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. And now try Babbel for free by texting radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000.
Take Boston sports with you wherever you go. Download the Odyssey app. Now back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
Well, Tampa Bay so far 7-0 in favor of the Rays as we move to the 5th inning. With the play-by-play, here's Will Fleming.
Thank you, Joe. Brennan Bernardino, left-hander, after Zach Kelly departs. And Zach was greeted with just a showering of hugs in the dugout. He was very quickly a personal favorite of so many teammates, and guys watched him really fear for his entire career. Left him out in Tampa sobbing, so to have him kind of come full circle, very neat. And speaking of good stories, here's Brennan Bernardino, 53rd time, and what a revelation he's been. We're all sort of still wiping away tears from the Tim Kirkshin video.
Yeah, if people are at home, I don't know what you had to Google search or YouTube search.
Just YouTube it, Tim Kirkshin sausage race. That's it.
It's comedic genius.
Here's Manuel Margot, who takes a curveball from Bernardino low and in, and you delighted in his performance.
It was. It still is all these years later. Quite amusing. He finished dead last by about 23 lengths.
A lot of lengths. 1-0. A lot of links, maybe. That one misses down and in.
2-0. I see what you did there.
The best part about
he
it,
was afraid he was going to topple over.
well, he almost did.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, he ran like with his hands folded across his chest. 2-0 is ripped into left field. That's a base hit for Margot. Racing back, playing the carom at the bottom of the Mason sign is Yoshida. He spins, he throws the tag. They got him at second base. Outfield assist number 3 in the ball game. And Yoshida, very nicely done, cuts down Manuel Margot. I think my favorite part about it is knowing, Tim, that he took it in stride. He probably predicted his own doom. And
I think he actually practiced earlier in the day, too. Yeah.
You can't run even without a sausage suit on with your hands folded across your chest.
I think he was afraid like he was going to fall over, or the outfit was going to fall off. And then he let go, but his one arm was kind of waving very awkwardly by his side while he wasn't striding with the other arm.
And he didn't have the longest strides either. As Bernardino fires a curveball on the outside corner to Raimel Tapia.
If Margot slides right into the bag, he's safe. But he had that pop-up slide, came up short.
7-0 Tampa as Tapia fouls another curveball back, and it's 0-2. I would imagine there's no way those sausage race suits smell good.
No, probably not. Like mascot. You ever stood next to a mascot?
Thank God of all the things I was asked to do in the minor leagues, I did not ever have to do that. The 0-2 is a ground ball to the first baseman. Dahlbeck, he bobbles, picks up with a bare hand, and will take it himself. With his big left foot, he steps on the bag, and they're very quickly 2 down.
It's very rare you get near a mascot who's in a costume that it doesn't just smell of sweat. It's a sweaty job. But I would assume you could stuff that thing in a washer every now and then.
But they're hard. Like the ones that are like, they have the frames
big
in
and
them.
Bulky and
maybe you dry clean
they
them.
Probably fray. It's just easier to. It smells like hockey equipment.
Johnny, get in the locker room and get it on.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's kind of a weird deal anyway. Like the mascots aren't supposed to talk.
Here is Taylor Wall's right-handed hitter. He takes a curveball low, ball 1.
It would be tough. The St. Joe's hawk.
Moving arms at all times.
Yeah, the hawk will never die, and it has to sit there and wave its arms the entire game. How tired would your shoulders be?
1-0 is strike on the inside corner, and it's like an enormous honor at that school to win that post.
I think I'd rather have shoulders that don't hurt.
Be hard to eat and drink. How do you get the cup to your mouth? Here's a 1-1 curveball. That's a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Not the best.
You never tried out to be the tree?
I didn't know.
Stanford?
Now that, at least it used to be, was totally insane. 1-2, swing and a miss. He struck him out, did Bernardino. And he gets a little help from Masataka Yoshida in the top of the 5th. All Rays so far 7-0 Tampa on the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI, Red Sox Radio Network.
Football season is finally back, and BetQL is here to help you win more consistently this year. BetQL is an absolute game changer if you're looking to find trends to help you win. Make smarter bets on spreads, totals, player props, and more. BetQL has already helped over 300,000 people with powerful analytics and community insights. Don't fumble away your cash this football season. Visit BetQL.com for their free daily analysis today. That's BetQL.com. BetQL.com.
RIPTA's R-Line fare-free pilot is coming to an end on September 30th. Starting October 1st, passengers must pay full fare on all RIPTA R-Line buses. Pay your RIPTA fare with Wave or $2 cash. For details, visit RIPTA.com.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Auto Trader.
Hi, it's Sean McDonough inviting you to join me on The Greg Hill Show every Wednesday at 9 a.m. We'll talk about the top stories of the week in Boston sports, and we'll have some laughs, too. All presented by Ketchus Law Group, New England's injury pros at KetchusLaw.com.
More Boston sports opinion, more often. Just download the Odyssey app. Now, back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
To the bottom of the fifth we go. 7-0 Tampa Bay to be Wilyer Abreu, then Bobby Dahlbeck and Manuel Valdez. In the Herb Chambers batting order, sponsored by Herb Chambers Jaguar Land Rover, Boston and Jaguar Land Rover Sudbury. Chance to get caught up on the Subaru of New England scoreboard. The Baltimore Orioles, indeed their magic number to clinch the AL East and the number 1 overall seed in the American League is 4, and they lead the Washington Nationals at home 1-0 in the top of the 8th inning.
So ironic that Orioles having such a great season and they lose their probably the most popular player in their history, even over Cal Ripken. Brooks Robinson passed away at the age of 86 today.
One of the nicest people I've ever met.
Here's Wilyer Abreu. He swings and fouls the first pitch fastball back 0-1.
In or out of baseball.
No question about it.
Just any walk of life. Brooks Robinson was a wonderful man.
What a group that was, those O's. The 0-1 is down and in. In the mid-60s, it felt like the Orioles could win 5, 6, 7 World Series. They were so loaded. They did end up breaking through, especially when Frank came to town with Palmer and Brooks. The 1-1 pitch is outside.
Hall of Fame manager Earl Weaver said Brooks is the only guy I know who has a farm system for gloves. He's got gloves that are a year away. He retires the old ones when they can't go to the left for balls hit in the hole anymore.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's a little bit outside. A changeup from Eflin, 3-1.
Buddy Bell was a great glove man himself at third, said it was like Brooks held class out there, and umpire Ed Hurley said he plays third like he was sent down from another league.
3-1. Fouled off the end of the bat.
You know, as you mentioned, he didn't have a strong arm. He did everything left-handed, including his autograph, except bat and throw. And he was very slow of foot, but he had 268 homers, big clutch hitter, and the greatest defensive third baseman ever in all likelihood.
Yeah, 20 homers in his MVP season. I mean, it's rarefied air to win a regular season MVP and a World Series MVP.
How many Gold Gloves? 16?
16 in a row. Only Greg Maddux had more. Pitcher at 18.
3-2 to Wilyer is lined into left field. That's a base hit. Over and to his left is Tapia, and Wilyer just continues to hit. What a beautiful swing for him. A leadoff knock in the bottom of the fifth. In the game today, Matt Chapman and Nolan Arenado, a lot of people say, are about the closest thing that the game has seen since Brooks was around. Both those guys have different body types, though. I mean, Arenado and Chapman are big guys. And there's something so beautiful about a guy who can make the reaction play so smoothly over there. Here's the pitch to Bobby Dahlbeck, and he takes a cutter for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. He, like Arenado, Brooks, was the master of the play where he was ranging to his right and sort of falling into foul territory. Found enough on the throw across the diamond. The 0-1 is a little looper into right field. That's a base hit. I think Dahlbeck broke his bat. He moves Abreu to second base, and the Red Sox have a little something going here in the bottom of the fifth. R.I.P. Brooks Robinson. We will have time to catch up with Jim Palmer in Baltimore this weekend, and I know Jim will have a lot to say about that.
Jim was very emotional today as he's on TV. He's a great player, great guy on the field, great guy off the field. He said there don't be too many guys like that. Brooks was a genuine person. There was no acting. Brooks was just a genuine guy.
I mean, I think you've both echoed that. It's just through and through. Manuel Valdez fouls a sinker off 0-1. Abreu aboard. Dahlbeck broke his bat. That wouldn't have happened had he used lumber from Cape Cod lumber.
Wow. It's very impressive to me that you can do that off the top of your head, Will.
Here's the 0-1. Swinging a high drive into deep right field. It is back. It is gone. And Manuel Valdez gives the Red Sox a little life, a 3-run bomb, and it's 7-3.
Yeah, that was a bomb over the Tampa Bay bullpen with 3 or 4 rows back into it. He smoked that.
6 home runs. There is lightning in that bat. And a little bit of a spark for the Sox.
Oh, the better defense he's been playing, the way he's been swinging the bat. Got to look ahead to next season.
There's no way to put a positive spin on this season as Connor Wong takes a strike. Curveball from Eflin. It has been a failure. The Red Sox judge themselves based upon whether or not they make the postseason, or they make a run at championships. That has not happened this season. The 0-1 to Wong is hit high into right field, but this one will hang up for low in front of the warning track. He's there to make the play. But the good news that we've started to see these last few weeks is the emergence of some real young talent. You can start to see the foundation of that next core that may well bring the Red Sox back where they want to be.
As I mentioned Sunday, this was a case after 86, a disastrous 87 season, except for the emergence of guys like Mike Greenwell and Todd Benzinger and so many others, John Marzano, Ellis Burks, set the tone for the next few years.
Verdugo takes strike one with a fastball, 7-3 now, and Alex takes a little bit low with a curveball, 1-1. And I mean, for me, I include Tristan Casas and Jarren Duran in that conversation. Easy to forget since they're both injured as Verdugo bounces one to second on 2 hops, backhanded by Meade, over to first, and they're 2 down. But I think Abreu looks great. Cedon Rafaela has really flashed. And Valdez, I mean, he's done some really nice things, particularly at the plate.
No question. You know, they all look like they could be contributing major league players. My question would be, any of them have star potential?
I think the likeliest of those is Casas. As Rafi stands in, he takes a cutter outside for ball 1. I mean, I think Tristan proved this year that he could be a 40 home run guy.
I would agree with that.
And really,
especially if we're putting him in the lineup when he isn't even out there.
That's true. 1-0 pitch is a little bit low. He looks like Bobby. You're forgiven for that.
Wow. A little rusty. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a game. This is my last game here tonight with you guys, and we're only in the 5th inning.
2-0 to Devers is a strike on the outside corner. You had a great college football game this past week.
Florida State Clemson.
Yeah, that one came into overtime.
Overtime, won by the Noles, beating Clemson for the first time since 2014.
What a big win that was. 2-1, swing and miss. Didn't look good for them for a long time.
No, they never led until they were headed overtime. They were behind or tied. Twice they're down by 10 points.
Rafi's 0 for 2.
They're back. They're legitimately one of the top 10 programs in the country.
2-2 is swung on and missed. He struck him out. They needed that, though. They had to have that win to kind of stay alive in the playoffs.
That's the one that kind of gives them the credibility that they really are back.
And they are. And the Red Sox needed that swing from Enmanuel Valdez. A 3-run homer on the board. A football score here after 5. 7-3 Tampa on the Shaws and Star Market. WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
When you need to know what's happening, it's time to get in the huddle.
The big question is Desmond Ridder. The problem that I think a lot of fans are having and looking at Desmond Ridder is they just haven't seen enough. They want to trust him. They want to believe. But I will tell you this, Jason. In the training camp sessions that I had a chance to go check out, the one thing that bothered me was his aggressiveness to throw the football when he needed to.
Listen and subscribe to In the Huddle, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Ask your smart speaker to play 93.7 WEEI. Now back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
Red Sox turn to their fourth pitcher as we go to the sixth inning. It's Mauricio Jovera. And he'll see Rene Pinto, Jonathan Aranda, and Junior Caminero in Herb Chambers' batting order. Red Sox a little bit of life thanks to Enmanuel Valdez. It was a rough one for Tanner Houck. 10 hits and 7 runs over 3 innings.
How about
the
this
last
crowd
home run
tonight, too? Chilly night, weeknight, school in session, team out of it. Very nice crowd here tonight. They haven't announced the attendance yet, but
Joe is very good at guessing attendance. We'll get him to take a stab at it in a
Well, they'll
moment.
probably announce about 33,000 tickets sold.
Rene Pinto crushed a homer his last time. Pitch from Jovera is swung on and missed.
Valdez has hit his last 2 home runs off Eflin. Homered against him at Tampa Bay on September 5th.
I mean, one thing about Valdez, when he hits them, they go. Tremendous power. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the points that Alex Cora keeps making. That's why they're going to play their starters. They feel like they owe it to their fans to put their best foot forward and thank them for the commitment this season. And you go to all these other places that are in the middle of the playoff race, and the place is 2/3 full. Here's an 0-1 swing and a miss at a slider, and so on too.
plus, the Rays are in the race for the division. I think, if you're the Baltimore Orioles, you'd like the Red Sox to put their best team out there. Competitive integrity.
0-2 swing and a miss. He struck him out, did Jovera. Pinto gone. Alex said they're going to do that till the end, and really the only exception will be Kenley Jansen and Chris Martin, and that makes all the sense in the world. There's no reason to push those guys at the end. That doesn't mean they won't pitch again, but maybe not with the urgency that they would have had the Red Sox been right in the race. Here now, Jonathan Aranda, the Rays leadoff hitter, who in the 6th inning is batting for the 4th time. He takes a strike on the outside corner. Now through Thursday at Shaw's and Star Market, 2-liter bottles of Coke or Pepsi, 28-ounce Gatorade or Powerade, or 16-ounce Body Armor for 97 cents when you use the digital coupon. Here's a swing and a miss at a slider. And it's 0-2. Jovera looking good. Houck, Kelly, Bernardino, and Jovera. Coca-Cola sign shining brightly to the left of the Fisk pole. Citgo illuminated the blue lettering, red triangle, white square. You soak it all in at Fenway at the end of these seasons as Jonathan Aranda takes a ball high 1-2. I try very hard to not take this vantage point for granted because it is the best in the game. 1-2. Swinging a chopper on the right side. Valdez, gloves, throws to first. In time, 2 down.
How about what Tommy Lane said when he came up here? He said, wow, you get this view every night?
Yeah, you do have to remind yourself of that. And when the lights go out here tomorrow night, that'll be it. We'll miss it, that's for sure. 7-3. Tampa Bay leading with 2 down in the top of the 6th. Even when not playing, Randy Arozarena is a big personality in the Tampa Bay dugout. And a laugh with Aranda. Here is Junior Caminero, who's been impressive today. Doubled off the wall and drove in a run in the first. 0-1 to Caminero. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly into right center field, coming in Abreu. He'll call Verdugo off. He'll get there and make the play. Inning over. Nice job by Jovera. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 7-3 Tampa. Turner, Yoshida, and Story. After this, Shaw's and Star Market Red Sox Radio Network.
Greetings, podcast listeners. This is world-renowned, self-proclaimed couples therapist, Dr. Sheila. And I'd like to invite all of you to experience my couples therapy podcast, Say More, with Dr. Sheila. And yes, for legal reasons, you do need to say the doctor in the form of a question. On the pod, I talk to couples who are having problems, and you get to listen. And how wonderful is that, to listen in on other people's problems and then feel better about your own. I ask my patients to come in, to open up, and to say more.
Paper Kite Podcast Say More with Dr. Sheila features guests such as Rachel Dratch, Kate Berlant, Paul Scheer, Alana Glazer, Maya Rudolph, Chris Parnell, Anna Gasteyer, and Amy Poehler as Dr. Sheila. Listen and follow to Say More with Dr. Sheila and Odyssey Podcasts on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
You're listening to the Sox on the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. Now back to the play-by-play action.
Bottom of the sixth, and Justin Turner lead it off for the Red Sox, trailing Tampa Bay 7-3. Turner stuck on 95 runs batted in for a long while, a career high, but he is really aiming hard for 100. You'll see Kevin Kelly, the new Tampa Bay pitcher. Zach Eflin gone after 5 good innings. Here's the pitch to JT, and that is a strike on the inside corner. I think what Kevin Cash just did tells you that he does have some eyes on the postseason now. 5 innings, only 71 pitches thrown. Makes sense to show some restraint as Turner takes a pitch low.
Yeah, as we said, Eflin likely to be their game 1 starter, probably a week from tonight in beautiful St. Petersburg.
Hopefully people will show for that as Turner takes his pitch outside 2-1.
Hopefully they all stay home.
That's a good point.
On ESPN or ESPN2 or ABC.
Or just bring their phones to the ballpark and stream it. You get credit for that too.
Even better.
2-1. Swing and a miss. Slider 2-2. And Turner just been a marvel this season. Really, on balance, the Red Sox best offensive player. Top to bottom, start to finish. He has cooled, though, over the last month. 2-2 to number 2, and he takes strike 3 right there. That is the sign of a struggling hitter. I mean, the hallmark of his season has been just a domination of the strike zone. He very rarely would take a strike 3 like that. So he is gone.
Yeah, that was the definition of right down the middle.
Yes, like north, south, east, west, right in the heart.
Pinpoint.
Here is Yoshida, who takes another one right there for strike 1. 75th pitch by a Red Sox pitcher, brought to you by Dana-Farber Institute and the Jimmy Fund. On their 75th anniversary this year, Yoshida takes a little bit outside, and it's 1-1. One of the reasons the Rays were a little bit vulnerable in the middle months of the season after their incredible start was their bullpen, which is so unusual for them. 1-1 misses inside to Yoshida, but that has changed. I mean, they've really turned it around, although, as we told you at the outset, Adam and others injured again. 2-1. Yoshida fouls it off on the third base side, and it's 2-2. You wonder how many front offices have gone to Kyle Snyder and the head of whatever pitching analytics department exists in Tampa and offered them the moon to come to their town. Here Yoshida rips one down the right field line, and that's going to be extra base as it hops over the short wall past the pesky pole for an automatic double. So Yoshida's aboard, ringing double down the right field line, but they just have this secret sauce in Tampa Bay. Everyone who goes there, it seems, focuses on their strengths. They throw more strikes, and they turn their careers around.
Without question. You know, they just excel really at every level of their organization. You know, not only evaluating young people and bringing them in, but, you know, guys who, you know, Chaim Bloom tried to do it here, right? Oh, we'll take a guy who hasn't pitched very well someplace else, see if we can get him here. We see something in him. But he didn't have the same kind of success identifying those guys as his old team did in Tampa.
Trevor Story looks at a breaking ball outside for ball one from Kevin Kelly, who's got a 2.92 ERA and a whip below 1. Walks and hits per innings pitched. Anything around 1 is great. And the Rays just absolutely excel at that. The 1-0 is outside. A huge part of their success is getting ahead of hitters.
And let's look at how they got this guy, right? He's originally drafted by Cleveland in the 19th round out of James Madison. Then they don't protect him in the Rule 5 draft. Colorado picked him, and the same day Tampa Bay went to Colorado and got him in exchange for cash.
Isn't that amazing? 2-0 pitch is a strike at the bottom of the zone.
And now he's an important part of their bullpen. Kind of a herky-jerky three-quarter delivery that I think would be uncomfortable for right-handed hitters especially.
Yeah, probably real deceptive. 2-1 to Trevor. 1 on, 1 out, 7-3 Tampa. The pitch is right there. He was looking for something else. I mean, that was, again, a fastball center cut. And that right there underscores what I'm talking about. And Kyle Snyder is often seen wearing a T-shirt that says, "Remember the 94." I'll tell you why that makes sense in just a second. 2-2 to Story. Here's the pitch, and a slider is grounded over the third base bag past the dive of Caminero, and it hits off that retaining wall. Yoshida over to third. He holds there. A little bit of a bad break, actually, for the Red Sox. Once it got over the bag, had it just rode the line, surely Yoshida would have scored. But as it is, Story's got a knock, and the Red Sox have him at the corners.
And not hit very well, but right down the line, and Caminero playing off the line a little bit. And good job by the shortstop Taylor Walls. He hustled all the way and was there very quickly when it hit that little jut out. And a good move by Carlos Fabus to hold the run.
And here he comes, Kyle Snyder. He's got the parka on tonight.
What does the T-shirt say?
So it says, "Remember the 94." And the thing that he preaches to these pitchers, especially to begin an at-bat, throw strike one, and they have their catchers set up over the middle of the plate. And his point is 94 out of 100 in the studies that he has, 94 of 100 pitches that land in that center of the zone on the first pitch are not hit hard. They're either outs or taken for strikes. So, in other words, don't be afraid to find the middle of the zone to get ahead. And they do that all the time.
The other teams now know that he just wants to throw it straight down the middle.
I think what ends up happening is they set up on the middle, and it's very hard to just be dead center.
Yes.
So they're just finding the plate.
As you know, I've seen you putt.
It's more the tee that's my problem.
Yes.
So first and third with 1 down, 7-3 Tampa. What a chance here for Williard.
Yeah, one swing. It's a one-run game after the Red Sox were down 7-0.
He ripped to hit his last time here. He swings and drives one high and deep to left field. Back on to Tapia. Tapia leaps and he can't get it. Yoshida scores. Coming to third, Story. He's waved home. It's a wall ball double for Wilyer Abreu, and the Red Sox are right back in it. 2-run score, and it's 7-5. I thought Tapia had a chance to make that play just to the right of the AL East standings, but it clanged off the monster right above his outstretched glove.
Good job by Abreu. Fastball a little bit away, went with the pitch. Probably caught in almost every ballpark in America besides this one. Yeah, he got a glove on it, Tapia. I believe when I look, yeah, he did.
Here's Dahlbeck, almost hit by a fastball running in.
Yeah, he was leaping by the wall, and actually if Tapia had taken one step more back, he had room. He probably would have caught that ball. Went into a jump, hit him in the glove, and fell.
So a 7-run lead becomes a 5-run answer for the Red Sox as Dahlbeck takes a strike right there. Remember the 94, it's 1-1. And I think Abreu is going to learn, like so many Red Sox left-handed hitters of years gone by, that monster can be his best friend. He's dancing away at second, the 1-1. Bobby swings and misses. He was trying to launch one there. Tied the game. It's 1-2. Pretty good couple of innings for the Christian Vasquez trade, I would say.
Yes.
Two real pieces. There's Dahlbeck, who singled and struck out. 1-2. The count to him. Pitch Swinging a little chopper the other way toward first. It stays fair. It's gloved over there by Aranda. He steps on the bag to retire Bobby. On the play, Abreu over to third. And with 2 down, here comes Manuel Valdez. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of the Red Sox may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions may not be disseminated without the express written consent of EEI and the Red Sox. Here's Manu, as his teammates call him, launched a 3-run homer his last time. Abreu at third. The pitch is outside. Fastball 1-0. For every 4-bagger like the one Valdez hit, Red Sox Radio Network donates $40 to Cars for Kids. See if it can make another donation. It would tie the game right here. 1-0. Inside. Slider almost got him. 2-0.
And a heck of a play by Pinto. That pitch looked like it was going to hit Valdez in the leg. Pinto really had to shift and backhand a very tough pitch to handle. There goes to the backstop. It's probably another run for the Red Sox.
2-0. Swinging a high fly foul the other way. I think this is one of the real benefits of having young players in the lineup late in the year, because in their 3rd, 4th week in the big leagues, 7-0, they're going to charge ahead.
Oh yeah, there's no give up.
2-1. Here it is. Oh, up and in again. In the end, that wasn't all that close to him, but that's easier for me to say. Bent back out of the way. 3-1.
You're comfortably up here.
It was definitely not going to hit me.
Plus, if it was you at the plate, it would have been much lower.
True. 3-1. Swing and a miss. He chased ball 4 right there.
Because you're quite tall. How tall are you?
6'7".
6'7".
Yeah. See, that's why it's hard off the
tee.
tee.
How tall is Dave? Your brother?
6'2".
Is he that tall?
Mm-hmm.
I would have taken the under on that.
Yeah. I got all the height. He got the golf swing.
He has a very nice golf swing.
3-2. Swinging a high drive into center field. Back on it, Margot. It hangs up in front of the wall there, just onto the track. Valdez just missed another one. But he and Abreu get the Sox back in the game. We go to the 7th. 7-5 Tampa on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
When you need to know what's happening, it's time to get in the huddle.
The big question is Desmond Ritter. The problem that I think a lot of fans are having and looking at Desmond Ritter is they just haven't seen enough. They want to trust him. They want to believe. But I will tell you this, Jason, in the training camp sessions that I had a chance to go check out, the one thing that bothered me was his aggressiveness to throw the football when he needed to.
Listen and subscribe to In the Huddle, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, it's Lou from my friends at Shaw's and Star Market. Now through Thursday at Shaw's and Star Market, get 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola or Pepsi, 28-ounce Gatorade or Powerade, or 16-ounce Body Armor for just 97 cents. When you use the digital coupon, you're limited to 6. When you shop with the Shaw's app, you get amazing deals. You earn points on every purchase. You short on time? Order ahead for free curbside pickup or get delivery. It's a thirst-quenching sale at Shaw's and Star Market. Now through Thursday at Shaw's and Star Market, get 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola or Pepsi, 28-ounce Gatorade or Powerade, or 16-ounce Body Armor for 97 cents when you use the digital coupon limited to 6. It's a thirst-quenching sale at Shaw's and Star Market.
The Greg Hill Show, weekdays, 5:30 to 10.
Now back to the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
7-5 Tampa Bay. Red Sox have battled back. They were down 7-0 after 2.5 innings. The 3 runs in the 5th for the Red Sox and 2 in the 6th. And it's a 7-5 Rays lead in the first game of this 2-game series, the final 2 home games of the year for the Red Sox. The bullpen has kept the Red Sox in. It is all 7 runs were charged to the starter Tanner Houck over just 3 innings. But Zach Kelly has pitched a scoreless inning of relief, as has Brennan Bernardino and Mauricio Llovera. So here is John Schreiber now to pitch the 7th, created by Isaac Paredes. And the right-hander delivers way outside, ball 1. Paredes reached on a Rafael Devers error, easy for me to say, in the first inning and scored one of their 3 first-inning runs. He's 0 for 2 since. He's hit it on the ground twice. Takes the ball outside, and it's 2-0. Dangerous hitter, Paredes with 30 home runs. Schreiber 2-1 in 43 appearances, a 4.12 ERA. Drops down and slings one outside with a slider. Schreiber has not pitched well since coming off the injured list on July 25th. A 5.40 ERA since, and a 150 whip. He throws a strike on the inside corner, taken by Paredes. Paredes, low, and Meade coming up here in the 7th. The chopper to short, charged by Story. He has it on 2 hops and throws him out. Paredes, the leadoff hitter in the Herb Chambers batting order, brought to you by Herb Chambers Chevrolet of Danvers. Stay tuned for the Nissan postgame show right after the game. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop NissanUSA.com. Cooper Boardman will have the Nissan postgame show tonight. Coop Doggy Dog is here.
Do you know that is music to my ears and of all of our listeners?
Because you don't
too.
have to do it?
Correct.
Oh, Coop's fired up. Talk a little Red Sox baseball. Josh Lowe, the hitter. He looked at ball 1. Hits one off the end of the bat down to third. Gobbled up by Devers, who's on the edge of the grass and well off the line. And he throws him out. So 2 outs for Schreiber. Here in the 7th inning, the Rays leading 7-5. Doubles for diabetes. For every Red Sox double, we'll donate $50 to the American Diabetes Association, brought to you in part by the Massachusetts Health Connector. A place to go if you need health insurance. Go to mahealthconnector.org to stay in the game and get covered. First pitch, a fastball strike taken on the outside part of the plate by Curtis Meade. Right-handed hitting second baseman, hitting .290 for the season in limited playing time. He has 2 hits tonight, 2 singles in 3 trips. Swinging a foul ball to the backstop off a slider from Schreiber. Two outs, the base is empty. 7th inning, 7-5 Tampa Bay. And the pitch is low. Sinker. Final home game of the season tomorrow at 6:10. So the pregame at 5:10. Brian Bayo against Tyler Glasnow. Foul to the screen behind home plate. 1-2. Red Sox go to Baltimore thereafter for 4 to wrap up the season. If the score stays this way and the Red Sox lose, they can do no better than finish at 500. It'll be their 81st defeat. Check swing at a breaking ball. No swing on the appeal down to first to Jeremy Rehak. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rays on their way to the playoffs once again. Strike 3 called. Sinker on the outside corner. Schreiber has a 1-2-3 inning. And that's 4 scoreless innings of relief, 1 inning each from 4 different pitchers. 7th inning stretch at Fenway Park. Rays 7, Red Sox 5 on the Shaws and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
I'm Tony Kornheiser, and this is my show. What, you expecting something different? Whether you're looking for deep, insightful dives into the day's top sports stories, that's why we have guests, right, Nigel? Or simply how to get change for 100, you'll find it on the Tony Kornheiser Show. From football picks from the best prognosticators in the business, including a monkey, to real-time baseball playoff analysis, to traffic in an area where you don't live. We got you covered. My friends come on and you know them. Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ripta's R-Line fare-free pilot is coming to an end on September 30th. Starting October 1st, passengers must pay full fare on all Ripta R-Line buses. Pay your Ripta fare with Wave or $2 cash. For details, visit Ripta.com.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
At Six Flags Fright Fest, fear is all around you. Some fear the heights, some the frights. But everyone shares the fear of missing out. Join New England's largest and scariest event, Select Night, September 23rd through October 29th, with over 20 horrifying attractions, including 3 new scare zones. You can't escape Fright Fest at Six Flags, presented by Snickers, only here for a limited time. And nothing scarier than that. Visit sixflags.com to purchase tickets.
Gresh and Fourier, weekdays 10 to 2.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Bottom of the 7th here at Fenway Park. Tampa Bay leading the Red Sox 7-5. Herb Chambers' batting order for Boston is Connor Wong, the number 9 hitter. Then Alex Verdugo and Rafael Devers due up against the new pitcher. The third of the night for Tampa Bay, the left-hander Colin Poche, P-O-C-H-E, making his 65th appearance. He has a record of 12-3 and a 2.15 ERA. Had an outstanding year. And his first pitch is right down the middle with a fastball taken by Wong. Poche in 58 2/3 innings has struck out 57. Opponents hitting just 188 against him. High fastball fouled straight back behind home plate. Wong came in the top of the 3rd inning for Reese McGuire, who left with a left thumb contusion. And Connor is 0 for 2, struck out and fly to right. He's 0 for 3 as he swings and misses at a fastball for the first out of the home half of the 7th. Adam Duvall is going to pinch hit here for Alex Verdugo. You get a right-handed bat up there against the left-handed pitcher. Duvall hitting .249 with 21 round trippers. He's driven in 58. He had a solo homer in the Red Sox last game Sunday against the Chicago White Sox. Hitting with 1 out of the base is empty. Poche's pitch is a strike.
Joe Stradamus has struck again. 34,094.
What did Joe say it would be?
He said
33.
33 and change, yeah.
And that's tickets sold. Fewer than that there, but still, it had to be pretty close to that number actually here. Swing and a pop-up out of play to the right. Poche stumbled a little bit after that delivery. Poche's 29 years old. Native Texan. Goes to the back of the mound to get a little dirt out of his spikes. He's out of Dallas Baptist University. Originally drafted by the Diamondbacks and then traded along to Tampa Bay in February of 2018. He missed inside to Duvall. Poche, 6'3", 225 pounds. And his pitch, tomahawk to deep left field. Back to the wall goes Tapia. That ball is off the wall. About 2/3 of the way up. And in the second, standing with a double, is Duvall. That was a very high pitch, probably about letter high, and he just went up and got it for his 24th double of the year. And once again, the Red Sox have the tying run coming to the plate. Once down 7-0.
He kept the hands back. That was about shoulder high.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was even higher than letter high. He did well to get on it. So the move to pinch hit pays off for Alex Cora. And now it's Rafael Devers up there with a chance to tie it with one swing, and he tried. He took a Herculean cut and missed a fastball high for strike one. Devers has fly to center, bounced to second and struck out. His fly ball to center was pretty deep way back in the first inning. Chilly night. Pitch is low. Temperature's now 55 degrees here at Fenway Park. And earlier in the game, there was a pretty decent breeze blowing in from center that helped to knock down that drive by Devers. Red Sox have 9 hits now. Swing and a miss. Another big cut at a fastball on a pitch up and in. Justin Turner to follow. There is no action in the Tampa Bay bullpen. The set by Poche, and his pitch is fouled back to the screen. Red Sox have action in their bullpen. Chris Murphy, the left-hander, is warming up. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Duvall at second. Poche's pitch is fouled away to the left into the upper seats. Poche starts with a very close stance. He's a lefty. Has his left foot on the third base end of the rubber and his front foot, the right foot, much closer to first base. Throws across his body. Comes set at the belt and fires, and it's a swing and a miss for strike 3. He changed speeds, went to a slider just 83 miles per hour, and it fooled Devers, who had kind of a half-hearted cut.
Adam Duvall is a made for Fenway hitter. He's hit 10 balls over the wall, now 9 off the wall.
Wow. Heard Will talking on the pregame about whether or not he'll be back. And they have a lot of outfielders to sort through with an eye toward next year. Justin Turner takes a strike inside corner at the knees.
But whether Duvall or someone like him, I do think you need a right-handed hitter to balance it out, and someone with a little bit more experience, as promising as the young guys are.
Poche checks the runner at second. Duvall, and pitches swing and a miss at a fastball that was up and out of the strike zone.
I mean, think how many homers Duvall would have had he stayed healthy this year.
For sure. He has 21, as we mentioned, when he came to the plate. The fifth one fouled as Turner. Duvall's played in just more than half the games, 88. Two strikes on Turner, 2 outs. A runner at second base, 7-5 Tampa Bay. Here in the bottom of the 7th, the Rays once led 7-0. Outfield shades right field for Turner. He hits a little lob, shallow center. The second baseman goes out and can't catch it. Over Meade's head. It's a bloop hit. And around to score Duvall. And the Red Sox are back within a run now at 7-6. The bloop hit for Justin Turner, his first hit of the night. And as Will said, he's been stuck on 95 runs batted in for a while. Now he has his 96th. So the Red Sox have battled from 7-0 down to within a run. They're into double digits in hits now. Turner had been 0 for his previous 8 before that bloop hit. And Yoshida took ball 1 outside. Masataka doubled down the right field line last time up, extending his hitting streak to 6. He takes a strike on the inside part of the plate, a slider. 7 runs, 11 hits, and an error for Tampa Bay. 6 runs, 10 hits, and an error for Boston. Big swing and a slicing foul to the backstop. Knocked down one of the signs behind home plate. Little padding in front of one of the signs. Well, the bat boys is going to fix it. The Goya sign got hit by the foul ball and it flapped forward. It was lying on the dirt behind home plate. It's now back up and running. We got to make sure the sponsor gets.
Yeah, I mean, people need to know about their beans.
Is that what Goya is?
Mm-hmm.
Beans?
Yeah.
Did not know that. Fastball high.
See, now you do it. It's like the best thing that could have happened. Knocked off and you learn something.
They're like baked beans?
All kinds. Black, pinto.
Probably available at Shaw's and Star Market.
Certainly.
Here's the 2-2, and it's up and in, not close. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So Turner will be off with this payoff pitch. And these great Red Sox fans on their feet, many of them. Yoshida hits a little bloop behind second base. Walls, the shortstop, has it on the edge of the outfield grass. And the Red Sox leave a runner, but they get a run. And after 7, it's a 1-run game. Tampa Bay 7, Boston 6 on the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Greetings, podcast listeners. This is world-renowned self-proclaimed couples therapist, Dr. Sheila. And I'd like to invite all of you to experience my couples therapy podcast, Say More. On the pod, I talk to couples and you get to listen in on other people's problems and then feel better about your own.
Say More with Dr. Sheila features Amy Poehler as Dr. Sheila. Listen and follow to Say More with Dr. Sheila on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Hey, Sox fans, there are a lot of reasons to love being a Ford owner. And now, Ford Pickup and Delivery is one more. Just tell your dealer when and where you'd like to have your Ford picked up, home or work, and we'll come get it, service it, and return it to you. Ford Pickup and Delivery is part of U-Mode, benefits made just for Ford owners. See your participating Ford dealer for important program details and terms and conditions. Ford, official partner of the Boston Red Sox.
Jones and Mego, weekdays 2 to 6.
Now back to the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Here are the results of the Diesel Direct question of the day, brought to you by Diesel Direct, who remind you to stop wasting time at the pump. Get on-site fuel with Diesel Direct. The question at Sox Booth on Twitter was, Jacoby Ellsbury is the last Major League player to steal 70 bases in a season back in 2009. Will Ronald Acuna, who sits at 68 stolen bags, reach this benchmark? The results are in. 86% said yes, 14% say no. Chris Murphy, the new pitcher, on for the 19th time, 1-2 with a 4.66 ERA, and the lefty's first pitch is low to Manuel Margot, right-handed hitting center fielder, batting 6th in their lineup tonight. Tampa Bay leads 7-6. Looked like they were going to blow the Red Sox out when it was 7-0 after 2.5. A ball down and in. And it's 2-0 on Margot. He has twice singled, each time driving in a run. And he singled again in the 5th, 3 for 3 with 3 singles. He was thrown out trying to stretch his single in the 5th inning to a double. He took a strike. That single off Bernardino was the only hit the Rays have against the Red Sox bullpen. Line drive, there's the second hit. Base hit in right field. Played by Duvall, the new right fielder who stayed in the game after hitting for Verdugo. So Margot is 4 for 4. His first 4-hit game of the season. He's the leadoff hitter in the 8th inning in the Herb Chambers batting order, sponsored by Herb Chambers Kia of Burlington. Zach Kelly pitched the 4th inning, 1-2-3. Bernardino, the 5th inning, gave up that leadoff hit but faced the minimum when Margot was thrown out at second base. Jovera, 1-2-3 inning. Schreiber, 1-2-3 7th. Tapia turned as if to bunt, left the bat out there too long, and it's a strike on a breaking ball away. He is 0 for 3, but has picked up a run batted in the first inning with a fielder's choice. He turns to bunt again. The pitch gets by Wong, and the runner Margot around second base, and he'll stop there. So they were trying to sacrifice the runner to second base, and now they won't have to. It's a pitch in the dirt, but not really a great job by Connor Wong. It's a one hopper, but basically right in front of his mitt, didn't shift his body at all. Goes as a wild pitch, but really a ball that should have been stopped by the catcher. So they leave the bunt on, trying to get the runner to third, and he pulled the bat back, and this time it's ruled no swing on an appeal down to third.
Yankees just broke a scoreless tie in the ninth at Toronto on a 2-run homer by the rookie catcher Austin Wells.
And Baltimore has won tonight in Washington. The pitch just missed. Fastball outside at 95 miles per hour, so it's 3-1 on Tapia. With the Rays leading 7-6 in the top of the 8th. And the pitch is outside. That wasn't close. A fastball for ball 4. So here comes Walls with Pinto on deck. Who's on deck is brought to you by On Deck, America's largest online small business lender. Apply today at ondeck.com. Dave Bush to the mound. It gives us a chance to remind you to stay tuned for the Nissan postgame show after the game. That's usually when the postgame show is. At Nissan, they make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. The postgame show is before the game. We'd have an interesting situation. So let's see how they play it with the number 8 hitter up there. Wall's not a good hitter, hitting .201. Don't see a lot of teams sacrifice like this, but see if Kevin Cash keeps the bunt on. Walls is 0 for 3. Turns the bunt, bunts it down the third base line. Fielded by Devers. His only plays at first. It's a high throw and a good play by Dahlbeck to make a leaping catch and then tag Walls right in front of the bag.
Look, he's 6'4".
Yep, high throw. It is a sacrifice bunt, well executed by Walls. You know, it's kind of an old-fashioned purist. Nice to see a sacrifice bunt every now and then.
Well, I think they have that with postseason in mind because they're not going to have all their prime hitters with all the injuries.
Here comes Alex Cora.
Well, Harold Ramirez had been in the on-deck circle. And this is the second trip of the inning, so there will be a pitching change. And we'll step aside. We're in the top of the 8th. Tampa Bay 7, Boston 6 on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
This call to the bullpen gives you a chance to check out all the great Ford SUV offers at buyfordnow.com. You'll find special deals on the award-winning Ford SUV lineup that you won't see advertised anyplace else. Whether you plan to buy from your Ford dealer's inventory or custom order your new SUV, visit buyfordnow.com and see how much you can save. And then see your New England Ford dealers for your new SUV. New Englanders know that for towing, hauling, or heading to a ball game, their Ford dealers are their truck headquarters. For a full lineup that works hard and plays harder, F-Series, featuring F-150 and the all-new Super Duty, the best-selling trucks for 46 straight years. The turbocharged Ranger and the compact Maverick, built Ford tough and the official truck of your Boston Red Sox. Sales claim based on 1977 to 2022 CY total sales.
Alex Cora still at the mound talking to Josh Winkowski, the new pitcher for the Red Sox and the entire Boston infield. So we'll take time for the Subaru of New England scoreboard With so much to love, you don't want to miss the Subaru of New England A Lot to Love event. For complete details, to find your authorized Subaru retailer, visit SubaruNewEngland.com. Here's Will Fleming.
Orioles did hang on and beat the Washington Nationals 1-0. Cano got the save. Bradish, who was so good last time here at Fenway Park against the Red Sox, got the win. He's 12-7 with a 2.86 ERA. That'll be the question for the Orioles. Can Grayson Rodriguez and Kyle Bradish and others give them enough starting pitching? Meantime, Joe told you, Yankees hit a 2-run homer in the ninth inning off of Romano, the Blue Jay closer, and they are in the bottom of the ninth with one down, leading 2-0. Phillies and Pirates are tied at 2 in the bottom of the 10th, and in about 30 minutes, Houston and Seattle square off. Apparently, Ellie De La Cruz hit a ball 119 miles an hour off the bat that went 462 feet.
Is that all?
As the Reds turned that game around and beat Cleveland 11-7.
So here's Winkowski facing a pinch hitter, Harold Ramirez, batting for the number 9 hitter, the catcher, Pinto. 308 for Ramirez, 11 homers and 63 runs batted in. Alex Cora brings the infield in. Winkowski steps off and his PitchCom device isn't working. And now Connor Wong and the home plate umpire Nick Lentz head to the mound. Technological issues. He's holding it up to his left ear. Jason Varitek has another one. He seems to be the director of technology when this happens in the Red Sox.
He runs that whole world where they program it, and pitchers meetings go to discuss the plans, the little cards.
Well, it seems like it's working now. Winkowski back on the mound. He's 4-3 in 58 appearances now. Swing and a miss at a pitch down and away.
It's amazing. Jason is exactly as he was as a player, which is to say that he is never not working. I mean, at all times he's got the laptop and the binders, airplanes, buses, clubhouse. It's nonstop.
And a good man. Off the end of the bat, hit on the ground at the second baseman Valdez. He double pumped, couldn't get it out of his glove. He was looking at home like he was going to throw it, but he couldn't. Margot crosses the plate. The throw went to first to Dahlbeck. So Ramirez retired, but picks up an RBI and a big run for Tampa Bay here in the 8th inning. It's 8-6, and on the play, Tapia went to second base. It looked like if Valdez could have got it cleanly out of the glove on the first or even kind of the second try.
Yep.
But he never really got a good grip on it.
He seemed hesitant to throw in the first place.
So here's Aranda. He's had a good night. Hit by a pitch. Couple of singles. Last time up, grounded out. 2 outs now. And Tapia, the runner at third. That run charged to Murphy, who pitched a third of an inning. Winkowski's having trouble with the technology again. Takes his hat off. Comes off the front of the mound. Have you ever had one of those? Have you ever held one?
Yeah.
What's it like? How would you describe it? Looks like a cheap piece of plastic, and they seem.
They're thin because they don't want them to bother the pitcher inside the hat. And when they're working, it's pretty amazing. You can hear them in multiple languages. But then when they don't, it's like the teacher from Charlie Brown.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, 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 wah. And I think it's a huge win overall for the game, but they do seem to fail pretty frequently.
Now, if you have no hair like me with that slide around on the inside, you have to.
You tuck it right inside that brim. You know, the
inside the front part of the cap.
Cotton band at the bottom. But it would be less comfortable for you. Those are a lot of things.
Fastball up and away. Yep, a lot of talk about the hair today. I went to my great dermatologist today, Dr. Joe Marola, over at Brigham Young's. We want to wish him well. He's leaving to go to Dallas for a big new job.
Really?
You're running one of the top dermatological programs in the country. The pitch is high.
So he will no longer get to inspect your dome for sunspots.
And good. Nothing that needed to get biopsy today, so that's good.
It's a win.
To win.
You wear a hat that is bigger than
I wear a
2-gallon
wide brim hat
Stetson.
and encourage everybody to do so. Swing and a foul back. I've had 3 Mohs surgeries to cut off skin cancers in my head and face. And when your whole TV career is based on your movie star good looks, that could be damaging. Set by Winkowski. His 2-1 pitch is golfed down the first baseline foul. The photographer pit by the end of the dugout.
You probably have to be strategic about that stuff, though. Like, you can't be doing it in the middle of hockey season or football season,
Getting
right?
things cut off?
Yeah.
Well, when the doctor tells you
you're going,
you get it cut off.
Yeah.
Although sometimes you can wait, if it's not anything that's threatening. Unfortunately, I'm a little more of an expert on that subject than I'd like to be. Chopper on the right side, base hit. Through the hole, wasn't hit all that hard, but it got through. So Aranda, who came in 2 for his last 28, has 3 hits tonight. In 4 at-bats, 5 plate appearances. So the Red Sox worked so hard to get within a run, and now they're 3 down. It's 9-6 on the bounding ball single by Aranda, who will be held at first by Dahlbeck. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Winkowski pitches to Junior Caminero, and it's a called strike with a cutter on the outside part of the plate.
Where is your football this weekend?
Austin, Texas, one of the great college towns in America. Top 25 battle. Kansas and Texas, both 4-0. The Horns, number 3 in the country. Broken bat roller down to third. Devers throws to second for the force play that ends the inning.
A little Quinn Ewers for you.
Yeah, Heisman Trophy candidates. The Rays get 2 in the top of the 8th, and as we head to the home half, it's 9-6 Tampa Bay on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
RIPTA's R-Line fare-free pilot is coming to an end on September 30th. Starting October 1st, passengers must pay full fare on all RIPTA R-Line buses. Pay your RIPTA fare with Wave or $2 cash. For details, visit RIPTA.com.
Hi, I'm PJ Vogt, here to tell you about my new podcast, Search Engine. On Search Engine, we tackle the kinds of questions that keep you up at night. Like, why are drug dealers putting fentanyl in everything? Should we be worried that Elon Musk believes that we're living in a simulation? And, for the love of God, is it actually unsafe to drink the coffee on airplanes? On Search Engine, no question is too big and no question is too small. Listen and follow Search Engine with PJ Vogt and Odyssey Podcast. Available now on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Brett Boone Podcast and guest Kurt Schilling.
Like, that energy the fans brought made it what it was. And Red Sox fans have always hated the Yankees, and Yankee fans have always, they've not hated the Red Sox. They've kind of pitied them up until this century. I can't imagine my baseball career without that experience. It's Auburn, Alabama football. It's Cowboys, Steelers. It's one of the greatest rivalries in sports.
The Brett Boone Podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Attention sleepers, it's officially cozy season. Snuggle up to savings on select Casper mattresses and more during our fall asleep sale. Save up to $600 on select mattresses, like the Wave Hybrid Snow, with advanced ergonomic support and cooling technology. Or the original Hybrid, with its best-selling balance of comfy springs and foam. Plus, get up to 25% off adjustables, furniture, and bundles that might just be cozier than your favorite socks. Don't snooze. This sale will be gone before you know it. Visit Casper.com or a store near you today. Exclusions apply. See Casper.com/promo.
The Rich Keefe Show, weekday afternoons starting at 6. Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Fenway Park crowd singing along with Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline. Tonight's attendance is brought to you by Citgo, 34,094. Whether you're off to the ballpark, dog park, or amusement park, Citgo top-tier Tri-Clean gasoline gets you where you're going. Whether you're traveling near or far, when you start with Citgo, you're good to go. Sean Armstrong, the new hurler for Tampa Bay. It's an all-new battery. Christian Bethancourt is the catcher after Ramirez hit for Pinto in the top of this inning. Bottom of the 8th, 9-6 Rays, and the first pitch from Armstrong is outside. To Trevor Story. Stands in at 191, 1 for 3 tonight. He singled and scored in the 6th. Armstrong off the first base end of the rubber, fires, check swing, and it's a ball low and away. Peeled down to first, no swing. Been impressed by this home plate umpire, Nick Lentz. He's had a terrific strike zone.
He has.
Very few questioning looks, and the NESN pitch zone seems to verify his call every time. Whoa, up and in. And did it hit Story? I believe it might have. He's looking at his arm as if it did. He kind of flipped the bat down to the ground as he tried to get out of the way. The good news is he has plenty of padding on his elbow and forearm, and Alex Cora is up on the top step of the dugout making sure he's okay.
I think they do want to look, the Rays do. Just to be sure it's the 8th inning. There's no reason not to do this.
Well, we're looking at a replay now. Did it hit him?
Ooh, maybe the nub of the bat.
Yeah, hit the bat. I think it hit the butt of the bat. He kind of sold it, didn't he?
He did.
And pretty good acting.
Almost too much acting. We're looking at the replay again. Yeah, I think it hit the knob of the bat.
I mean, it gets a little of his finger.
You think so?
I do.
Well, in which case he's going to be safe at first.
I just thought at the very last minute his left pinky finger sort of shakes.
So there is a review here. The home plate umpire Lentz, the crew chief Chad Fairchild, who's the third base umpire, about halfway between home and third base along the line in communication with Rob Drake in New York. Boy, tough to tell. Alex Cora's on the phone. Whoever he's talking to is amusing because he's laughing.
Why not stay in a good mood?
For the moment, Story is at first base with Kyle Hudson, the first base coach.
After review, the call on the field stands. The batter was hit by the pitch. Tampa Bay has lost the challenge.
Kevin Cash seems slightly perplexed by that, but as you said, why not? Armstrong in 37 games, 5 of them starts. Of course, they were the originators of the opener. And I think you're right. It just did get a piece of his pinky finger. You can almost see the glove.
Yeah.
Kind of recoil as it hit him.
He's an honest man.
Yes. That's your story. And you're sticking with him. I feel like John Sterling. And the pitch is low.
Yeah, what would he do with that?
Yes.
Almost too easy.
He'd craft quite a story for Trevor, who's at first. And now wearing an oven mitt on that glove.
Which is like 8 inches longer than his hand.
Mm-hmm. Abreu was the batter, and he foul tips one into the mitt.
I've always thought that's kind of cheap. Like, if that thing touches the bag, you're safe.
Yeah, and it's literally, he cannot have fingers that long. Nobody does. Almost looks like one of those shower shoes. Change up. Low and away and swung on and missed by Abreu, who is 2 for 3. Singled and scored in the 5th on the 3-run homer by Valdez that got the Red Sox on the board. He doubled to drive in 2 in the 6th. Red Sox once down 7-0, got within 7-6. Now it's 9-6. Bottom of the 8th. And the lead man on for the Red Sox after the hit by pitch. And Abreu swings at a high one and fouls it back behind home plate just off to our left. Abreu and then Bobby Dahlbeck do in the Herb Chambers part of the batting order. Armstrong 6'2", 225. 33 years old, induces another foul ball off to the left from Abreu. Armstrong's from New Bern, North Carolina. I believe that's over by the coast.
It is.
Well, you would know because you probably vacationed as a kid on the Outer Banks.
Yep,
with a
Emerald
sweater
Isle.
around your neck and
Oh,
your
totally.
polo ponies. There's a pop foul out of play to the left again.
I love that part of the country. And I went to summer camp called Camp Seagull, North Carolina, and we would always visit New Bern and go to the saltwater taffy factory.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a factory there.
Yeah.
The 1-2 pitch is just a little bit low with a fastball. Is it a big factory? I mean, I don't think of that as a big industry. They're great need nationally
Huge
for
warehouses.
saltwater taffy. How old are you when you stop having saltwater taffy? Like 8? Swing and a miss at a sinking fastball low and away. Abreu strikes out for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that's not a taste that sort of lasts.
No, like cotton candy.
Yeah.
I loved that when I was a kid. Now just the sight of it looks like insulation to me.
Yeah. Pink insulation.
Yeah.
Or turquoise.
Yeah, not a fan. Just the texture of it. Well, I don't know how I remember. I don't think I've had it since I was probably 10. Bobby Dahlbeck, a big swing and a miss for strike one. He went after a cutter. He's 1 for 3, singled and scored on the Valdez homer in the 5th. And Manuel Valdez is on deck already with 2 hits, and last time up he hit it hard to deep center field. 1 out, a runner at first. Story with good speed, a pitch up and in, a fastball from Armstrong. Armstrong went to nearby to him East Carolina University, where he majored in exercise physiology, which would seem like a good thing for an athlete. A ball outside.
You were talking about mascots in the Stanford tree earlier.
Yeah, and then I got a text from Tim Kirkchin, who wasn't even listening.
You just wanted to check in before your series.
But I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, go on.
The Stanford tree. If you were a tree, what kind of a tree would you be? Ground ball down to first. Throw to second, hits the runner Story, and he's safe at second base. Aranda fielder cleanly turned to fire. They had plenty of time to get Story, but the throw hit Trevor in the back. He's safe at second. And safe at first is Dahlbeck on what will likely be a fielder's choice. And the Red Sox will get the tying run to the plate again. It hit Story right in the back of the neck, so he's had a rough inning. Got hit in the pinky with the pitch. Now, he was running way on the grass on the inside of the baseline. But play continues, and it's a ball inside. And yeah, that hit him right at the base of his neck, right below the batting helmet. So 2 men on, 1 out. Valdez looked at a ball. He's hit the ball hard all night. And he hits one high and deep to left. Toppy is back at the wall. That ball is off the wall. Almost a home run. 1 run scores. Into third, Dahlbeck. Into second, Valdez with a double. And it's 9-7 Tampa Bay here in the bottom of the 8th inning. That was about 3/4 of the way up onto the green monster by the BetMGM sign. Well hit to the opposite field. Got a 95-mile-an-hour fastball up and away and hit it hard.
5 RBI night for Valdez. Hey, first time we've seen Kyle Snyder tonight. 4 RBI night.
Yeah, the 3-run homer, now that double. Dahlbeck stopped at third. So the Red Sox with some help in this inning. The hit batsman. The errant throw by Aranda and what might have been a double play ball. Hit by Dahlbeck. Instead, he wound up reaching. And now the double by Valdez. He's another reason to have some hope for the future going forward. He came in 3 for his last 6, and he's 3 for 4 tonight. So help me, Will. That sounds like 6 out of 10.
It is.
So what did you want to say about the tree?
Well, they've gotten themselves in a lot of trouble over the years. They're irreverent, the Stanford band is.
Like most of you Stanford people.
But we'll let the game go for a moment.
Okay. Because the tying run is in second. Connor Wong, the go-ahead run at the plate. Big swing and a miss at a pitch away.
Like they went to the L.A. Superior Court when O.J. was arraigned and played Mac the Knife.
Oh, my goodness. The band did?
Yes.
Armstrong working out of the stretch now. Big right-hander. Delivers low and away. Backhanded out of the dirt by Bethancourt. Wong is 0 for 3. Be a good time to join the hit parade. He's 0 for his last 11. He could give the Red Sox their first lead of the night with one swing. 1-1 pitch is high. Checked his swing at a high fastball. 2 balls and a strike.
Red Sox might have to call up a catcher. McGuire can't play. Normally you'd have 3 catchers this time of year, but with the rule change, you can only have 2 extra players off the roster.
Swing and a miss. Got a pitch away. Cutter probably just a little bit outside. 2-2 on Wong with Adam Duvall in the on-deck circle. First baseman Aranda way off the line, almost halfway between first and second base. Second baseman shading the middle. Swing and a miss. He kept swinging it. Pitches that were way outside. That one was the furthest outside of any of the ones he offered at. So Wong has struck out for the 3rd time, and he really struck himself out there. But the inning continues, and it's Duvall who came off the bench last inning as a pinch hitter for Alex Verdugo. And he tomahawked a double high off the wall and left and scored on a single by Justin Turner. First pitch to him is up and in, has him bending back out of the way. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 23 pitches in the inning for Armstrong, the 4th Tampa Bay pitcher of the night. 9 runs, 13 hits, and an error for Tampa Bay. 7-11-1 for the Red Sox. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball, knee-high strike taken by Duvall. 27 of Adams' last 44 hits have gone for extra bases.